Up, everybody? It's your boy Adam, and we're live and at it. And what's going on? All right. So I'm doing a little thing. Oh, what's up? Blue Sky 6. Oh, it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's once again, I'm out of it right now. And so let me know in the chat, anybody who's watching, to if the audio and video are out of sync. Like if I'm talking like I'm in a Jackie Chan movie translated from bad Chinese, this time there can be only one, that kind of stuff. If the mouth don't match up with the audio, just let me know, because I see this weird delay in the video preview screen sometimes. And I've got so many things in front of me when I do this live stream that it's hard to keep track. It's hard to figure out what's going on. But I watched, and I thought that this was something that you guys are seeing. And I watched the replay of last week's live stream where I thought this problem was happening with the camera. And now I'm kind of convinced that it's just something I see from time to time, but it's not actually happening on the other side of the ether. So it could be a million different reasons, but I don't think that it's any. If I see this happening on my side of the fence, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna let it ride. I've even got like a little preview. I'm streaming to myself on my phone. Yeah, it looks good. I can watch my own little preview off to the side and kind of check in from time to time, and um, I could even turn it on to a different internet connection. Um, but whatever. I mean, there's so many things, technical things, and all the software that we use these days is buggy as hell. I just went through a hassle with another piece of software that I'm doing something with, and Grok, Google Gemini, the website itself, their support AI, the support team, like nobody even knows how to use their own shit anymore, because like when these software companies put software out in the world, they they don't even put documentation together anymore, and if they do, it's like 6 versions out of date. So I'm sure you've had the same experience if you have an iPhone or an Android or whatever, and you're trying to find a setting for something, right? And you go to either Apple or Google's support page for that, or you look it up in Google, or you type it in, you get some sort of instructions. It'll say, go into settings and go down to this thing and click this other thing. It's not fucking there because they move the shit around so much. They change the names of things, and they do this like on a weekly to monthly basis. And it's so bad that like you can't it's so bad that you can't like keep up with it. They can't even keep up with writing the instructions to use their own apps. They'll be like 6 months to 2 years out of date. And so like the thing's telling you, go to this setting, go to this section, click on this thing, click on that. None of that shit exists anymore. And it's basically up to you to figure it out. And the company doesn't even know what's going on anymore. So I was kind of dealing with that today on this really confusing interface and I'm a tech guy. And it's confusing for me. When it's confusing for someone like me or somebody who's an IT person for a living, then you did a bad job with user experience design. Because if a user experience designer can't figure it out, and that's after 2 hours of reading documentation and trying to navigate my way and hack my way through it, then you need to go back to the drawing board, bud, and redesign this shit. Because if I can't do it, how the hell are your customers doing it? And so I've worked at companies like, oh my God, I worked at this one company before I jump into, I don't have a topic for tonight, but the company I was working at for Um, the company that I was working at, do I even want to show this? I could. The company I was working at, I'm not going to pull it up. Not this time. When the FBI drove a tank into my house, I was working for a big company, and their sign up process and setting up their app. It's a human resources app for companies of, you could be a 5-person pizza shop all the way up to a 2,000-person company. And this manages all your HR, payroll, especially for payroll, and all the other HR needs. It's ADP and the other company. And the other company is the one I worked for. And so if you're the HR manager, the VP of HR, whoever, like if you're the person in charge of setting this up for your company, you would go through this setup process and you would get to this one screen that's like 6 screens deep in the process. And it was so absolutely confusing and cumbersome that every single, and I'm talking tens of thousands of customers use this. So they have to set this up for tens of thousands of customers because there's not a single customer out there who could figure out how to set this up. And so I took it on. It was part of my responsibilities to clean this up. And it took me 2 months, 2 months of having meetings with, I had meetings with like 50 different people explaining how this thing works. I had to map out this confusing nightmare. It looked just like that meme from Pepe Silva. The I'll bring that up. From It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Open image, a new tab. Let's see here. Hit the screen share button. That it was that. I was this guy for 2 months trying to figure out how a customer would even begin to figure out how to tie this thing together. There were like 150 different options on this page that scrolled like 10 pages deep. And if you set an option towards the bottom of the page, it would change all the options at the top of the page based on what you picked at the bottom. And I had to draw this map, and it looked just like this board. In fact, I put this meme on that board when I was in meetings with people about this. And the thing was so confusing and such a clusterfuck that the company would just have to set it up for every customer. And you're talking tens of thousands of customers. Every single customer gets to this point and they throw up their hands. They're like, I can't fucking do this. Is so fucking retarded. You have to set this up for me. And then I had to try and coordinate with Team India, 20, 150 fucking Indian programmers, along with a bunch of project managers, user experience designers, company leadership. I was only like 5 rungs down from the CEO of this big company. So I had access to talk to people high up. And I would have meetings with these people and try to get everybody on board. But you had these project managers and these programming teams and these design teams and all these things. I had been told that everybody who tried to do this job gave up and threw their hands up in the air because trying to coordinate 400 people to get on the same page and fix this thing was impossible. It had been broken for like 10 plus years. The back end database side of things, the behind the scenes code was such a mess of spaghetti that it would pretty much have to be completely redone in order to fix the problem, because you couldn't just change the user interface side of it without changing the underlying structure of the database architecture and all this stuff. And now you have like hundreds of thousands of customers using it. So you would have to keep their shit intact along with any new customers coming in. The whole thing was a mess. And so I just started documenting this. I spent 2 months putting documentation together about, here's why we have to fix it. We would do customer interviews. I had videos on this mural board of customers yelling at us about how much of a clusterfuck it was. And I'm like, here's why we have to change it. Here's 6 customers on video telling us we're a bunch of fucking morons. you know, that's what you do. Like, that's what I would have to do as a UX designer if I had the budget to do stuff like that and the time budget, because I can sit in a meeting with, important people all day telling them what they're doing wrong and they don't give a fuck. But have 8 customers on a video putting them on blast, tell them this is a piece of shit, they'll start to listen because they'll know that if 8 people got on video and told us that in a Zoom meeting, then they also know that there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there just as pissed off who haven't raised their voice about it. And when you look at it from the internal perspective of a company like that, when you have to onboard tens of thousands of customers to go through this convoluted, retarded shit show that takes a day of someone's time to set up for that customer because the customer can't do it themselves, how much labor are you spending every year? Now, this is a big company. They had nothing but money. I could tell you all kinds of stories, crazy shit. But when you are paying people who make 50 grand a year, let's say if that's the average pay of a customer service person who's setting this up for a client, and they have to do this tens of thousands of times. So you need hundreds of customer service people onboarding these clients, spending a day per client, setting this crap up for each time a customer signs up. You're talking about millions of dollars a year spent on labor to set up these things that the customer should just be able to do themselves. And if you've made it so convoluted and confusing that not a single customer can do it themselves, then at the end of the where do you want to spend your money? How about spend a couple $1,000,000 to fix the problem if that's what it takes, and then save millions of dollars by having the customers do the work themselves and you don't have to do it anymore. And you're going to have happy customers. So I don't know. But anyway, that's enough of that. This is the kind of shit that I dealt with my entire UX design career. And it's part of the reason why, even though I would take a UX job, if a 6-figure UX job came my way, I would take it. But between the criminal record and the fact that I'm just jaded and hate working in this fucking industry, it even though I'm good at what I do, really good at what I do, but at the end of the day, I fucking hated it. I hated every fucking minute of that. And so I want to use my skills for something that's worthwhile. And, shit posting on X is a better use of my time. I built a meme database and I'm about to share it with all of you guys. And I was just about to send a link to all of you, anybody who wants to join Meme Team 6. And I'll just pull it up. Just give me a second because we're live and I didn't pull this up. And oh, come on, give me a break. Oh, yes. Give me 1 second. Got to do that too. Different web browser. I have to use Firefox for my live stream because Brave doesn't allow the video to go through. For whatever reason, shields up, took the shields down. Brave does not let it work. Now, come on. Let me in. Little pig, let me in. All right. So basically, once I iron out this problem I'm having with figuring out permissions, there's a meme database here with you can sort by keywords. You can like baby Yoda memes. There you go. 5D chess. You can reset the filter. You can look at all 3,995 memes that are in the database right now. Plus, I have different collections that you can choose from. UFC Fight Night at the White House, of which I've got a bunch more that aren't. And you can open these up, you can click them, you can right click on them, you can copy image, save image as. So you can get yourself whatever meme you're looking for. If you want to start shit posting on X and join the party, we got Pride Month because it's June. We got all the good, we got the Chick-fil-A ad. Our pickles don't touch, just like God intended. If you want to get into Pride Month, we got the Donald Trump collection. And I hate Democrats and Republicans. So you're gonna see it's an equal opportunity hater. collection right here. It's going to have everything anti Donald Trump, anti Joe Biden, Hunter Biden smoking crack. We got it all. We got it all here. We got the MAGA collection here, the MAGA cult. We love pedophiles and war now. MAGA. Um, MAGA. So this is a really, really awesome tool because you can pull up your X account side by side and you can just be like, you know what? I got the perfect meme for that. Let me go down here. Huh? MAGA, copy, paste, bang. Drop your meme in. You're good to go. You can shit post. I can spend an hour shit posting on X with this new system that I've put together and get hundreds of new followers from it and tens 20, 50 to 100,000 impressions in an hour of my time. So if I'm taking like a digital smoke break, I'm taking a break from my day, my busy day at my day job here doing my freelance work, and I just want to go mess around for a bit. Meme Team 6 to the rescue. I've already invited a couple of friends. They're testing it out for me. But eh, I'm gonna open up the gates to anybody who wants to join Meme Team 6. You would just be able to log in to an Airtable account. It doesn't cost you a dime. And X account right now, number of followers is as of right now 895. I'm closing in on 900. So I did not. I was okay. So let's see, Muskegee Land. Can you recommend a laptop that can handle CAD, SketchUp, and Illustrator? I'm ready. I would recommend a MacBook. And if you're budget conscious, go to Facebook Marketplace and look for a MacBook there. Or the Mac Minis are good. Don't get anything that's pre Apple chips. Like, don't get the Intel. I've got the last Intel MacBook Pro that they made, and it's a good MacBook. And I maxed this bitch out with like 64 gigs of RAM, so that's why it keeps up with what's out there today. Because this was like top of the line when I bought it, and I maxed it out as I made it as fast as I possibly could. It cost a pretty penny. It wasn't the base model, but I would say like an M4, M5, or whatever, anything with a new M chip, M1 a base level M1 would probably be just as good as this. Um, the thing with the Mac Minis though, they're great and they're like this big. They're like a hockey puck. Um, but you're gonna have to get a monitor. And when I was looking, because I was thinking about, because I need to replace this MacBook at some point in the next year or two. It's all the newest version of Mac OS. I really won't run on this MacBook, even though it supports it. I've been told that my MacBook will slow down to a crawl, and I'll be pissed off, and I'll have to reformat my hard drive and reinstall everything all over again because I won't like it. So I stopped at, I want to say Sequoia, which is their last operating system before whatever it is. I don't know what it's called now. And it took me forever to update to that. But updating to that on this MacBook made my MacBook faster, noticeably faster. But I'm not putting on the newest one, Tahoe or whatever it is now. I'm not doing it. Not on this MacBook. This is the only Mac that will support the newest OS because it's the only Mac with an Intel chip that will support the newest OS. But the newest OS is not built for this. And that's why they're not going to care that my computer slows down to a crawl. And so I'll just do that. Um, so then, yeah, so that's the number of followers, 895. I was hoping to hit 900 today, and I still might. We might do some live shit posting tonight while we're on the stream. I don't know. I could get those last five with a couple of bangers, but it's fun. I'm not really putting any effort into it. The effort I'm gonna put in is on I'm gonna do more YouTube short videos, and I just recorded a video last night of the wrap up video for my 35-day rise and grind challenge, and like what I learned and what I got out of it, and what was the end result and all that. and it's a pretty long video. I got to mix in a couple of edits to it, upload it, tag it, make it go live, and then I'm done with that. From here on out, I think I'm gonna like if I'm gonna do some long form videos. Hey, what's up, JS? Welcome to the party. Um, so for the long form content on my channel, I might sit in front of my camera and talk for like 3 hours on a random Tuesday afternoon or whatever, whenever I feel like doing it. But I'm just gonna kind of break up what I'm talking about into sections and try to keep it like 15-minute. Just break up the 3 hour video into 15-minute chunks and then separate those out and make shorter videos. So it'll be all the same stuff, but everybody, everybody's got something to say, and it's like Goldilocks. The porridge is too hot, the porridge is too cold, the chair's too tall, the chair's too short. You know, the videos are too long, the videos are too short. So one of the things that people were bitching about, not that I care, but I care in the sense that if I agree with what they're bitching about, then I'll care. So in this particular case, I do agree. There are times I don't want to sit and watch a 2 hour long YouTube video of someone just talking, but I do. I do. Joe Rogan does a 3 hour podcast every day. Tucker Carlson, his podcasts are 3 hours each, I think. People watch and listen. Tons of people do. So to say that's too long is not true. But at the same time, I do agree that there are times I just want to queue up a bunch of 10, 15-minute long videos, and I look at the runtime and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. I don't got time for that right now. And so I pay attention to how long videos are before I watch them. If I got a few hours, oh, this sounds really good. I'll turn this on. If I got 15 minutes, I'm watching this instead. So I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Keep the streams, these live streams can be a few hours. But if I'll do some shorter videos for the long form content, try to cap them at 10, 15 minutes and just pick a topic, talk, jump to another topic, talk. If I have to hit the stop button on my video camera and restart and do it all, do another intro and whatnot, or just kind of like, I don't know. I'll probably come up with a generic intro and then just, I'll figure something out. Hey, what's up, Dave Gass? 60th birthday. Just got home from an oceanfront seafood meal. Yeah, you do have access to the good stuff over there in Boston, in the harbor. I used to work for a company that was in Boston, and they would fly me out there from time to time. And I was in Pittsburgh, but it was in Boston, and the CEO was kind of he's celebrating Pride Month right now, and he was very much into like he would ask me, be like, "Hey, you want to go grab an Earth Bowl for lunch?" And I'm like, "Nah, man. I was thinking more of like a bowl of tasty creatures from the sea myself." And I'm sitting here wolfing down $20 lobster rolls for a week at a time, like they're freaking dollar cheeseburgers at McDonald's, just one lobster roll. Oh, another $20, not because it's on their dime. And these people did not give a shit about how much we were spending on our food. They would take us out to the bar on a random Tuesday night and drop 20 grand on a bar tab for the company like it was nothing. We went to this karaoke bar one night in downtown uh Boston. We rented like three separate rooms, private rooms in this karaoke bar, and had like bottle service the whole night, getting wrecked. I mean, I don't drink like that. I had enough, but I don't get drunk, especially around people I work with. But they didn't get. They were bunch of raging alcoholics. And like it was hard not to get drunk around those people because they're just like pouring it down your throat. And I swear to God, I swear to God they've had six-figure bar tabs at that motherfucker. They got bought out by another company actually, and from and half and they whacked most of the leadership of that company after the purchase, which didn't surprise me. But I got, like I have nothing but crazy stories from my career, and there was no exception. But yeah, I've spent some time in Boston. Been to Boston more than once, and when I was young and as an adult, it's fun place to visit. Never in my million years would I want to live there. Never, I would never live in Massachusetts. Um, but it's like anywhere, I hate certain places, but I can have fun no matter where I am at the same time. If I could choose I never would have chose Texas either. Like I said, I hate the red hat MAGA retards, and I can't stand the COVID cult Democrats either. So red or blue, it don't really matter to me. Um, they both suck. But they suck for different reasons. If you're in a red state or a blue state, in terms of like where do I like what kind of environment, I'm definitely more of a country boy than a city boy. I hate the suburbs. I don't like living in between. I either want to live in the city in the middle of everything or out in the middle of nowhere away from everything. I don't want to live in the cul-de-sac suburbs. Like where I live right now, I don't like it because I'm in that suburb zone. I would either rather be in the city of Houston, but then I go down there and I'm like, I don't think I want to live here. And I'm like, and I go out to the country from here on some bike rides, some drives here and there. And I'm like, I could definitely dig living out here. Um, I only need to move about 30 more miles away to get out to where I would be happier. So, um, but I can have fun in it. And I have fun no matter where I go. But when 2020 hit and we were looking at like the martial law and the lockdowns and all that bullshit, that really got me motivated to travel. Joe Biden said stay home. I was like, fuck you, creepy old dickhead. Here, hold my beer. We're going on a trip. I took my son and we went to like 20 different states on road trips. Just exploring. And it came down to mostly east of the Mississippi, but and this was already kind of like my list was already kind of there, but it was West Virginia, Tennessee, Florida are the three places that I would choose from. Pennsylvania, I've lived in Pennsylvania, New York, and Texas, and Pennsylvania is the best of the three. For different reasons. New York sucks, Texas sucks. Blue, red, they both suck. Um, Pennsylvania can suck, but it's better. I didn't like Pennsylvania when I was younger. It took a long time to grow on me, but then the older I got, the more I liked it and the more I appreciated certain things about PA. I like Pittsburgh. I could see myself living there again someday, but I'm not in a hurry to go back. I don't need to talk about all the things about there, but by the time my probation's over with and I can freely choose where I want to go, yeah, my son's pretty much going to be an adult by then. So I don't really have like eh, if my son was like 5 years old, I'd probably be living there right now. Different, it's I hate that part of my life right now. So, um but I don't, I definitely don't want to live where it's cold. I'm really kind of it's like 90, it was like 98, 90, 98, 99 degrees a few days this week. It didn't bother me at all. It's hard for my AC in this house that I live in to keep up with that. But it's not It's not, I don't mind going outside when it's 98 degrees. People who live here their whole lives seem to hate it. I don't know. I just appreciate the fact that it's not snowing in June. Like it can I've in Pennsylvania and New York, it snowed in one time it snowed in late June, and there was so much snow that it caused my grandfather's barn to collapse in June. And it was an old barn, it was getting ready to drop, but it was the snowstorm in June that caused the thing to collapse. And and then I moved out to Mercer outside of Pittsburgh, PA, where I was living when the FBI showed up and drove a tank into my house. The first summer that I lived in Mercer, which is about halfway up, it's just north of the snow belt, Route 80 across Pennsylvania. North of Route 80 is considered the snow belt. There's a big difference between north of Route 80 and south of Route 80. And I was right on the border of Route 79 and Route 80 where they come together. I was at the southern border of what's considered the snow belt. 2-hour drive from Pittsburgh to Erie. Erie, PA, you might have 20-foot tall snowbanks everywhere. 2 hours south in Pittsburgh, green grass and no snow on the ground in the middle of winter. Now, Pittsburgh can get blizzards. I mean, I was living in Pittsburgh once. We got 22 inches of snow in a single night, and the snow was up to my waist. On the side of the street where my Jeep was parked, the snow was up to the door handles. I couldn't even get the thing dug out that day. Took them a week to plow my street, but I was able to dig out my Jeep and go for a drive. But I just couldn't go that first day because my dumb ass didn't know where my snow shovel was. That's the reason. I tried digging out my Jeep with a flying saucer sled because we all wanted to go sledding, and I was the only one with a vehicle who could do it. And I couldn't. I'm like, I don't know where my snow shovel is because it doesn't snow like that regularly there. And so what else? So, like, but in Western New York, oh my God, it snows like that all the time. All the time. You can be in Erie, PA, and Western New York, and that whole area, southern tier, and it's freaking, you could have snow up to your freaking nipples if you're 6 feet tall. And then you get down to Mercer, where I lived, snow might be up to your knees. It might be up to halfway to your knees, but there will be snow. And then you drive another hour south to Pittsburgh, there won't be any snow on the ground, or it'll be like a light dusting. And that's like the normal, like that's constant. That's like the general trend. So I'm sitting there in Mercer one day. I just moved there and I was kind of nervous about that because even though it's an hour north of Pittsburgh, there's a difference in the weather. I mean, there could be a 10-degree shift just from that hour's drive. And I'm sitting there one day, I look outside and there's a fucking blizzard going on, and there's my whole yard is covered in snow, and the pine trees are covered in snow, and it was like June 12th or something. I mean, it was later in the year than we are right now, and I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck?" And it melted by the end of the day. This was like maybe 11, but around noon, it was like it was like January again. And now here I am in Texas. It's been like 80, 90 degrees since March. We had a cold week this winter. One. It got down to 20 degrees. The whole city was in a panic. They went and like the entire grocery store was empty. Like it was as empty at the grocery store for one day of 20-degree weather here as the grocery stores looked during the COVID scam when everybody was on trying to go out and buy a roll of toilet paper. And it was like it was one day where it got down to 20 degrees. And the rest of the time it was like 40s. And then we were back I'm telling you about like 3 days later it was 75 again. And so I'm like, I honestly I've worn a coat once, and it was that day. I wore my coat, my Columbia silver lined, uh, puffy synthetic down jacket. I wore it that day. I had to go to Home Depot to get a space heater because my house is not insulated. Because why? They don't insulate their home. They don't really houses get cold here on days like that because they don't give a shit about. They don't insulate a home here like they do up north, even though they should because you know if this house was insulated, it wouldn't be 85 degrees with the air conditioner on full blast. Um, so yeah, I'm done. Like I don't really have a desire to move where it snows again. I'm old. I know old people move to Florida when they retire. Old people don't go to hell with this and drive from Florida to New York to retire you know, up in the up in Buffalo, New York. They go from Buffalo, New York, sell their house, pack their bags and drive to Florida to live the rest of their days. You don't go the other way around. There's a reason for that. And so I dig the weather here, even when it's hot. It don't bother me. Um, I mean, it can't. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to. I might not want to go for a 8 mile hike on a 98-degree day wearing jeans, but I might because I don't like snakes. It's kind of like, what do you do? Do I wear shorts and get bit by a rattlesnake, or do I wear jeans and be and overheat? Like those are the kinds of decisions you got to make here. But I don't know. I don't want to live in Texas for the rest of my life. I know that already. I'm just here to ride out this storm, and we'll go from there. But maybe it'll grow on me. Trying to give it a chance. There's things I like about here, other than the weather. There's other cool things. This area I live isn't bad. The Woodlands is kind of there's good and bad about it. Um, it's a snobby, rich asshole neighborhood, but it doesn't mean everybody that lives in it's a snobby, rich asshole. So gas is cheaper here than, but not really. I mean, it's cheaper. It's not. I don't really from all the way from New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, down to Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, whatever, all the way into Texas. I didn't notice the gas prices being any different in any of the states I drove through between Jamestown, New York, and here. But I know you can go out to California and pay like what, $8 a gallon. So yeah, there's that. But I don't know. I'm kind of I'm gonna get back into planning out my live stream topics like I was, but I spent the entire last week of my life sick, like sick as a dog. It crept in during the live stream last week. We went 4 hours last week because we were all having a good time, and I was, but I started to feel it, and I'm like, I think I'm getting sick. I was thinking this in my head, and after I closed down the stream and everything, I was like, yo, I'm not feeling too good. I went to bed, woke up the next day, I was done. Done. My best friend invited me out to a little cookout, and then it got canceled. And he was like, "Oh, because so and so's kids are sick and they can't come over." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Well, then the next day it was back on, and they're going over to this other house instead of his house, but he's bringing all the food, and he's like, "Your place is right on the way to their place. We could stop and pick you up if you want to go." And I'm like, "All right." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "What about the sick kids? Or are they not sick anymore?" I'm like, "They must not be. Everybody's going." And there was a ton of people there. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, the kids didn't seem they were running around, screaming and yelling and having a good time. And it didn't seem like but anyway, that was Sunday. Wednesday, boom, I'm sick. Whatever was going around, I got it. And it wasn't fun. It was not fun. I kind of wish, you know, I don't get sick very often. I haven't been sick in a year and a half prior to that, but I was done and I was doing everything in my power to be able to get through the day. And Alka-Seltzer, severe cold and flu, and 800 milligrams of ibuprofen every 4 hours, 3 times a day. And then I'd back off on the ibuprofen when I went to bed at night, take some melatonin along with another dose of the Alka-Seltzer. And I was doing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, I started to feel pretty decent again, but Monday, I was sneezing and coughing and hacking up these big ass yellow goobers and these gobs of nastiness. Just boom, something will go flying out of my mouth. And I'm like, I can't go to the bakery like that. I couldn't control it. Um, I'm gonna be at the bakery and I'm gonna be like out of nowhere I'm gonna cough and some big honking yellow goop's gonna go flying out of my mouth and hit someone in the face. Yeah, that's gonna go over real well. So I'm just like, I'm like, I'm calling in. I called one in. I called in sick. And I was ready to tough it out the night before because I didn't feel that bad. But when I woke up on Monday, I was like, I got up real bright and early because I wanted to kind of feel it out. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't. So I went back to bed and just wrote it out. But by the end of the day, Monday, I was feeling pretty good. Yesterday was Tuesday. I was feeling better. I took 2 Alka-Seltzers in the morning and some ibuprofen, and that was it. And two before I went to bed. Today, I dropped 2 Alka-Seltzers in the morning and I had no ibuprofen. And the way I feel right now, I'm probably not going to drop anything before I go to bed and just see how I feel in the morning. But in the morning, this morning, I felt a little crummy, but like not bad. Like I could have gone on a bicycle ride. I mean, it wasn't like horrible. So I'm getting over it. But it's been like a week. This is a solid week of. I thought, oh, this will last a couple of days. No, this shit dry. This was one of those. I never get sick. So when something like this happens, I'm old now, and I'm like, maybe not as old as Dave Gass, but I'm old. And I wake up feeling like that, and I'm like, oh shit, is this it? Is this the last one? Is this the end? Because I don't get sick. I don't it really it rocks me when I get sick, even if it's not that bad. But this was bad enough that I couldn't even sit in front of a computer and do my work for more than like an hour, maybe 2 hours a day. I so between my car breaking down last month and being sick for a whole week and not getting paid because poor people don't get sick days. We if I'm sick, I don't work and I don't get paid. That's how it works. So that fucked me when rent was due this week. I got it paid. Everything worked its way out. I finally felt good enough on Saturday and Sunday. I jammed out enough hours to get paid enough to survive. But I should have been thriving this month. I shouldn't have been surviving. I'm not even 1,000 air. So like I gotta bust my ass and probably work. I don't even know how long I've got to toil before I can become 1,000 air again. Like that's how fucked up my life is from this whole thing. So take it for what it's worth. Um, but I'm playing the long game and hopefully something will catch fire one of these days. If I can become a professional shit poster on X and get paid for dropping fire memes all day and trolling people, that seems to be a good career for me right now. So I'm working towards that. Um, let's see what else. Um, but okay, so I had time to read, and the only book since Blue Skies in the house right now. Pull this up. I got 3 links. Pull it up. Come on, copy the link. Do the thing. Oh, come on, man. Just like Joe Biden would say. All right, copy. No. I'm using a new app for taking my notes. There we go. That should do it. I'm using Obsidian instead of instead of Notion. And it's a love hate, but I mostly love, a little bit of hate, but not much hate on this one. Um, Copy URL. It's fast. It's really, all your notes are locally stored but synced in the cloud. So they'll still sync across all your devices, but it's super, super fast. There's no lag and slowness and sluggishness like you get with Notion. So overall, I'm happy with it. I just got to get used to some things. So I didn't read Jesus Calling every day, but I May 31st, whatever day that was, that was Sunday. Sunday I decided to read it, and it definitely was appropriate. Um so on May 31st, Jesus Calling says, "The peace that I give you transcends your intellect. When most of your mental energy goes into efforts to figure things out, you are unable to receive this glorious gift. I look into your mind and see thoughts spinning round and round, going nowhere, accomplishing nothing. All the while, my peace hovers over you, searching for a place to land. Be still in my presence, inviting me to control your thoughts. Let my light soak into your mind and heart until you are aglow with my very being. This is the most effective way to receive my peace." And this part right here, there's always a part that stands out with whatever I'm going. This right here, when most of your mental energy goes into efforts to figure things out, you are unable to receive this glorious gift. I look into your mind and see thoughts spinning round and round, going nowhere, accomplishing nothing. And that was definitely the way I felt on Sunday when I was reading this, because there were things were just going around and around and around and around. And with being sick, the car situation, the car's fixed, but the whole, just all the stress and extra BS that came about the second half of the month, being sick mostly. My thoughts were just, I was feeling overwhelmed and feeling like I was falling too far behind on things. And so Sunday night, I actually went to bed, but I have my phone and I would checked my email. This is so crazy. I'm gonna have to pull up a website here. Hold on a second. Let me let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. All right. Fucking A. All right, this is crazy. All right, so Sunday night I go to bed and so I've got this monitor that, it's a third party, and it's an active monitor and it checks for when your website goes down. I can put any website in there that I want to monitor. And if for some reason the website goes down, I'll get an email right away. Say your website's down. So I have a log to go at my web hosting company if there's a problem. I know that the site went down and came back up, and in a span of 3 months, it might happen once or twice. Site might go down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, it goes back up. It's supposed to be like 99.7% uptime. It doesn't go down very often, but the last couple of months there's been some issues. And then so I get this is so crazy. You're going to love this. So I get the email saying the site's down, and I made the mistake of checking it, and I went to my client's website to look and see if the site was down, and this is what popped up. A ballsy sense of tumor cracking the nut on testicular cancer awareness and men's health through humor, with pictures of ball sacks and the nuts and bolts of testicular cancer and all these like ball sack jokes and pictures of fucking hairy nut sacks. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so now I got to find a new web hosting company because so basically what happens, fucking dipshit web hosting company that I've used for over 20 years and never had a problem with. Something happened to their web server. And on a typical web server at a big hosting company like this, there'll be thousands of websites hosted on one server. And something got fucked up on this server. Every single website that was hosted on that web server was getting redirected to the ballsack website. And so it's like midnight and I'm just about to sleep and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I thought some hacker got in and replaced my client's website with a bunch of hairy nutsack pictures and ballsack pictures in this. I thought it was a gag. I thought someone hacked him. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? And I'm going through it. I'm going into SFTP and I'm looking at the file structure and I'm looking at the source code. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Everything's where it's supposed to. What the fuck is happening here? I get on tech support with the fucking company and I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And they're like telling me, oh yeah, we're having problems. I'm like, yeah, the fuck you are having problems. My client's got a hairy ball sack on the homepage of his fucking website, thanks to you assholes. What the fuck? You need to fix this shit. Well, you can check our status page, blah. They didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And I'm like, I know they were getting bombarded because when you go to tech support for them, they usually answer within like 5 seconds. There was like half-hour long wait to get somebody from tech support to pick up the chat. And I'm like, thousands of people are calling up this web host company saying, why the fuck is there a big hairy nutsack on my fucking homepage, you fucking scumbags? And so, but anyway, it wasn't a hacker, or if it was, something something happened with the DNS uh, records on their server, and that happened to be the default website on the entire fucking web server. So every single thousands and thousands of websites hosted on this one server all got redirected to the hairynutsack.com. And I'm like, wow, that's some fucked up shit right there. Now my client and he's a testicular cancer survivor. So he might have gotten a kick out of it if he had seen this himself. He might have laughed it off and just not really been upset about it, but I was pissed. And oh my god, that could have been so much worse for me. And but anyway, this hairy nutsack website was still there the next morning, all the way up until like lunch until they finally fixed this shit. And I'm like, all right. So I already got a plan of action. I'm gonna switch web servers um sometime over the summer. I've got until August before I gotta renew my server package with them. And it'll give me enough time to set up a new site somewhere else, build it, test it, get acquainted with everything, and then just migrate everything over to a new server and be like, "Peace out, bitches, I'm out." And I'll even save money in the process. But that's what I dealt with on Sunday night. So I didn't even get to bed until like 3 in the morning because of that. And then, like I said, on Monday morning, I had to call in sick. And I had to call in. I was actually sick. I had to call in. But I also had to sit in front of my computer and get on with tech support and be like, when you gonna get the fucking hairy ball sack off my client's fucking webpage? And I had to fucking bitch about a hairy nut sack showing up on my client's website for 3, 4 fucking hours because there wasn't anything I could do to fix it. Um, the only thing I could have done would have been switching web hosting companies, spinning up a new website, getting it all installed, and then redirecting the DNS from Cloudflare to point there instead of where it goes now. But by the time I would have gotten done with all of that, they would have already fixed the site and it would have taken me longer to get everything up and running again. So I was just like, I got to wait this out. But I thought they would have been able to get the hairy ball sack off of my clients and all the other thousands of webs. They, like I said, Monday morning when I called tech support, or I do the online chat whenever possible because I don't like talking on the phone. But it was like a 45-minute wait before someone from support picked up. It's usually about 5 seconds. So that's how many pissed off customers they had screaming and yelling about having a big hairy dick ball sack on their fucking homepage. I mean, it could have been anything else. It could have been it could have been a cat website. It could have been anything. It could have been somebody's graduation party website. It could have been some other company's website. But no, big hairy nut sack on everybody's website gets replaced with a big hairy ball sack. Great. But it makes a good story for the live stream. Um so with that said, I'm sitting here waiting for these people to get rid of the big hairy nutsack on my client's homepage. And I'm like, why not? Let's read Jesus Calling. It's June 1st. It's Monday. Let's see what's going on today. And here we go. I am involved in each moment of your life. I have carefully mapped out every inch of your journey through this day, even though much of it may feel haphazard. You think. I just had to call in sick and spend the next 3 hours screaming and yelling at a web hosting company to get the ball sack off my client's homepage. Yeah, definitely haphazard. Because the world is in a fallen condition, things always seem to be unraveling around the edges. Expect to find trouble in this day. Well, yeah, that already been there and done that by the time I was reading Jesus Calling. At the same time, trust that my way is perfect, even in the midst of such messy imperfection. Stay conscious of me as you go through this day, remembering that I never leave your side. Let the Holy Spirit guide you step by step, protecting you from unnecessary trials and equipping you to get through whatever must be endured. As you trudge through the sludge of this fallen world, keep your mind in heavenly places with me. Thus, the light of my presence shines on you, giving you peace and joy that circumstances cannot touch. And so, yeah, expect to find trouble in this day was that was the name of the game right there. The whole day just felt like that. And I was it wasn't just the hairy nutsack, and it was, the hairy nutsack thing on my client's site, trying to get rid of that, dealing with being sick. I had to put an invoice out. Didn't have I should have made I made about half as much money last week as I would normally make because I was sick. Um, Repercussions. Um, Wishing I hadn't gone to that. I wish I didn't go to get pork belly tacos that night, but they were delicious. But oh my god, I paid the price for that. Um, but anyway, it lined right up with that day. The haphazard feeling, calling in sick. Um, and I was already living in that anxiety of June 1st, I was supposed to be a thousand air again. I was supposed to be, things were supposed to be on the up and up. And, a car broke down and being sick for a week. I lost hundreds of dollars. And I was back down in survival mode again. And, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to be living above surviving 1 week to the next because of the shit show that my life became, all because of that fucking Twitter post. Um, it would be kind of a fitting retribution if I could make tens of thousands a month being a shit poster like Cat Turd or any of these other ding dongs on X. Uh, you know, if I could be a professional shit poster after what happened to me, that would be a sweet revenge, for sure. But yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I was done. I tried here and there. I just couldn't do that much work. Couple hours here, a couple hours there. But I did. I did. Even without reading Jesus Calling, I was leaning on God when things were terrible. And I do have this peace over me right now. It wasn't horrendous. It was annoying. It was annoying and frustrating, but I wasn't like living in fear. I wasn't stressed out. I wasn't like I was laughing about the Harry ball sack thing even though I was pissed. Like what are you going to do? There's nothing I can do about it. If there was, the ball sack would have been gone that night. I would have stayed up all night if I had to, but there was nothing I could do. Um, his website had been getting attacked. The actual website itself had been getting attacked, and the log files were showing me what was going on. And so I set up a Cloudflare firewall and blocked out certain things and hardened the site and did a bunch of crap that I didn't think I was going to have to do because he doesn't get that much traffic. But you go up against the man and start speaking some truth and doing the shit like I'm doing, people are going to come and attack you just because they can and they're assholes. And so that's kind of what's happening to him. And so I had to be like, all right, we got to step up our game here. Things, I wasn't expecting to have to harden a website that, isn't getting that much traffic like I'm a Fortune 500 company, but here we are. And so now that's why when the site went down, I was dumbfounded because I couldn't figure out how in the hell someone would have got in there because it's not oh you can't just break into that. Um but it wasn't like I said, it wasn't anything to do with me at all. So I mean that's I can take solace with that. But I just don't trust this web host now. And they've been a good company for many, many years, but when I looked into the plans at this other company that was recommended to me, there were some pros and cons, but a lot of pros that were like significant to me. And I'm like, ooh, like things that I can't do right now that I could do if I switch. And but there's going to be a learning curve, and so it's not something I can just do in 5 minutes. Um, but my whole perspective has been different, especially since that 35-day, 5-week challenge that I did on myself. Um, it's my whole perspective is just different right now. Plus, if you combine all the shit I went through being in prison for a Twitter post and all of these things, um, a bad day nowadays doesn't really compare to a bad day in federal prison. So, it's like your whole mindset is different. Like I can't have a bad day like that anymore. I mean, I've been in prison, I've been homeless, I've had all kinds of other shit. I get, a bad day is not that bad anymore. And so my mindset's just different. And anyway, so when I switch the web hosting thing, I'll move it. I'll actually save a couple $100 in fees this year because every one of these web host companies gives you a first year price. It's only this much for the first year and then it goes up a lot the following year. So, well, if I switch before my year is up that I'm currently in, I'll save a ton of money. And it might actually be beneficial and faster but I have a website I can build from scratch on the new platform and get my feet wet, pay the first year fee up front. And because I'm pretty convinced that I'm just gonna do it. I don't need to like dip my toe in the water. Once I decide to do it, I'm gonna do it. But then I'll just have to gracefully migrate the other websites over because there's a few that I have to move. Um, but then, okay, so I skipped a day on Jesus Calling. And then earlier today, I've been feeling a lot better today with the sickness and getting stuff done and getting caught up on things and all that kind of stuff. And so I jumped in here and decided to read this again today. And so Jesus Calling for June 3rd says, I want to be central in your entire being. When your focus is firmly on me, my peace displaces fears and worries. They will encircle you, seeking entrance, so you must stay alert. Let trust and thankfulness stand guard, turning back fear before it can gain a foothold. There is no fear in my love which shines on you continually. Sit quietly in my love light while I bless you with radiant peace. Turn your whole being to trusting and loving me. And this is what I was just talking about. When your focus is on Jesus and you're asking him, when you got a problem, if you just I mean, granted, I don't like to only talk to Jesus when things are going bad. And I do try to make sure I thank him and express my gratitude for everything. There's certain places and situations where I just automatically remember to do that, and that's when things are going well. Every time I get in my car and I sit down and turn the key and start the car and drive somewhere, I always thank God for that car. Things like that. I always remember to thank him for certain things in my house. I'm constantly thanking him for having a place to live, food on the table, and all that. But definitely when things are going bad, one of the things that I've been doing is putting my focus on him and just saying, God, can you handle this for me? Because I can't. And if I dwell on this all day long, it's just everything's just going to get worse. And I'm just going to be more of a mess if I can't, shed this off and walk away from it and just put it aside or whatever. Um, I need you to help. I need you to take this off my plate and do what you got to do to help me through it. And usually when I do that, even if the solution to the problem or whatever it is doesn't magically appear right then and there, it still puts me in a different place, in a different frame of mind um where things are easier to deal with and it levels out. I don't have to live in that anxiety and stew around in it and live in that fear paralyzes you, you know? Um and I'm going to say for like the last week being sick and everything that was really elevating because it wasn't the sickness that was bothering me. It was the things I couldn't get done and the work I couldn't do and the money I needed and just all the things were swirling around. And there was some adversity and other things going on over the last few weeks and it was just all that stress was it could eat you alive. Um but there's three things I've been doing if I listed them out. Whenever I start feeling that anxiety welling up about whatever it is, um, first of all, it took me a long time to learn this. People have been telling me this since I was in my teens, and I would just tell them to fuck off. I wouldn't listen. I would argue and yell and and I would be like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But I learned over time, long, long time, to not try to block it or shut it down. If you're welling up with anxiety or anger or emotions, whatever it is, negative, the negative pole of the two poles, positive, negative. If you're dwelling in the negative, if you got anxiety, grief, whatever, just let it out. Like, don't. try to hold it back. Don't try to suppress it. Don't shut it down. Don't block it. Don't try to ignore it. Just let it be what it is. Let it go. But in the case of like anxiety, um, I have to remind myself whenever I'm doing that, whenever I'm in that space, I just have to remind myself that it's all bullshit and it's like total bullshit and it's all in your head. Like there's no basis in reality most of the time when you're worried about something that may or may not come to be. It's at that point in time, it's all bullshit that's in your head. It's not real. It's something that you're making up for whatever reason. And there's different reasons we do this, but acknowledge the fact, remind yourself that this is all bullshit, that it's not true. It's my mind's way of taking a small problem and my wild imagination takes that and turns it into something 100 times worse than it already is. And I have to also remind myself that I've actually been through some real shit. And even if whatever I'm worried about today comes to pass, I've already been through shit that's 1,000 times worse than this. So why worry about this? I came out of that. I'll come out of this. But there's no reason to even be worried about this or that. I'll give you an example. I'll talk about this a lot in the next video that I post about the wrap up of the 35-day rise and grind challenge. But through the magic of synchronicity, um, on the very last day of my 5-week challenge that I put myself through, I just happened to get an invite to go see the Dave Matthews Band live. And I couldn't have planned that out. I didn't plan that out. I mean, I knew they were playing and I knew when, and it didn't like the two things never connected the dots. But on the very last day of my challenge, I got to hang up my hat around 3 o'clock and go over to my friend's house and we went over to the concert. But the whole day leading up to that concert, I had this feeling of dread. I'm going to see fucking Dave Matthews tonight. I'm going to hang out with my best friend. It's going to be a good time. I'm done with this challenge. I've got all these things going on. Things are good. Yeah, I had this feeling of doom and gloom and like this, like I'm dreading something. And I really couldn't even tell you what it was. The weather was gloomy. It was overcast. It looked like it could rain. We didn't care if it was going to rain. I mean, that wouldn't have bothered us. Um, we were sitting outside at a bar across the street from the venue and getting our pregame on. And we had like 4 or 5 drops came from the sky. We looked up. I pulled out my phone. I was like, "No, we're good." And it didn't rain. It was just kind of, but there it was that kind of a day. It was just kind of gloomy and moody. It reflected my mood that day, and it was just one thing after the next. I was just worried about this. I was worried about my car. I was worried about this other thing. I was worried about that, and I was worried. We're on our way. We were parking at the venue, and we had to park in the shopping mall parking lot across the street. And I was worried that my friend's truck was going to get towed, and just like it was just one worry after the next, after the next, after the next. And I just kept telling myself, I kept doing that. I just kept letting it be what it was. I kept, I just let it flow. And then I would just be like, Adam, this is all bullshit, right? Like, just fuck off with this. That's bullshit. You're just making up reasons to be anxious. And so I wasn't like, so that and my whole day didn't revolve around that. I had a good time. We had a great time. Ended up getting home at night. Whatever time I came home that night, everything went smooth. We didn't have a single problem. Nothing went wrong. Everything went good. It was a pretty good concert. Um, they play. I mean, it wasn't the best show I've ever been to, but um, if I had a playlist of all my favorite Dave Matthews songs for all of their 30, 40 years of putting out albums, they've been playing since the mid 90s. And so yeah, 30 years. And they got tons of I swear to God, if I picked my 20 favorite songs, they played all of my favorite songs in one show. And they never do that. So I've listened to tons of Dave Matthews shows. And they're a live band. They're not a band that you wanna listen to their albums. They're a band that you listen to live because they jam and they improvise. They take a song that's 5 minutes long on the album, turn it into a 20-minute long jam session, and they rock. And I ended up downloading the concert because you can do that. You go, a couple weeks after the show, I was like, Dave Matthews Band, Woodlands, Texas, May 8th, blah blah blah. Boom, there it is. Downloaded it. Listen to it again, and I'm like, yo, it was better the second time around. I wore a Led Zeppelin T-shirt to the concert because you don't wear a shirt from the band. You don't want to be that guy. You don't wear the shirt of the band that you're going to see. So I wore a Led Zeppelin shirt, and their very last song that Dave Matthews played at the encore before they shut off for the night was Stairway to Heaven cover. And I didn't even really put two and two together until I'm listening to it again. And I'm like, you know what? I was wearing a fucking Led Zeppelin shirt and they played Stairway. So, and I was like, that's really cool. And so there were some other synchronicities that night. It just felt like it was supposed to happen. I felt like I was supposed to be there. This was all part of God's plan. And that leads me to the third thing, that trusting God, just like the book said. I was going through anxiety that day and it was completely unfounded. And part of the reason was that concert that day was the very first time I went out and did something fun. Just to go out in public and do something fun since August of 2022. So, August of 2022, the Monday night before I was arrested, we went out for dinner. We did a whole bunch. I mean, I was out doing a lot of shit, traveling and doing all kinds of crazy stuff for the whole month of July and the first half of August, or the first 10 days of August. But then after they drove the tank into my house and took me to the feds, I I have not eaten at a restaurant, I haven't gone to see a movie, haven't done anything at all that was fun. Haven't gone on a bicycle ride for fun. Every time I get on my bike and ride somewhere, it's for transportation. It might be fun, but it's not for fun. I haven't, other than like hanging out with my friends a couple times at his house, I haven't done one fun thing to just go out and have fun. And it hit me that day. That was on my mind, and that was kind of like my anxiety was on edge because I'm not used to going out and having fun anymore. Like that shit. That would be like a Tuesday night back in the day, before I was arrested. It's all I did was have fun and enjoy life and go have experiences and let's go here and oh, let's go to this show. Let's go do that. Let's go on this trip. Let's go camping. Let's go this, that, and the other thing. Let's go on a hike tonight. That's all I ever did: work and play. And ever since I've been out of prison, all I do is work and try to put my life back together. And that was that May 8th, 2026. So from June or from August, sometime like August 9th, August 8th, August 8th, 2022 is probably the last time I went and did anything fun, all the way until May 8th, 2026. Almost 4 fucking years. 4 whole years of never going out and doing anything fun, just for the sake of going out and having fun. So my friend was even saying it. Like he was like, Adam, this is like the first time you've been out having fun in like 4 fucking years. I'm like, yeah, I know. And it was odd. It was very surreal. It was strange. It felt very awkward and just, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. But the reason for that is because it's been 4 years. It's like Tom Hanks living on that island in Castaway. For how many years did he live on that fucking island before he was found? And then he gets back to shore and there's a seafood buffet and he's like, "Nah, I'm good. I've been eating plenty of that shit." Right? Like, I'm sure the world was fucking weird if that was a true story and you were that guy. stranded on an island for years and you by yourself and then you come back to civilization like nothing. You wouldn't be able to nothing would feel normal ever again. And so that was what was going on the day of that concert, but I just, I recognized it for what it was. I didn't live in that stress. I didn't live in that anxiety, but it was there. It was definitely there the whole night. But I enjoyed it. I didn't let it ruin my day, is the point. And trusting God. I was asking God to help me in that situation, walk with me, protect me, give me the guidance, send me where you want me to go, put me on the right path. If I'm on the wrong path, block the path, burn the bridge, whatever, make me turn around and go the right way. Um, and I keep reminding myself, I don't think God sent me all the way down here to Houston and started helping me get back on my feet and get my life put back together just to turn around and throw me face down in the dirt and walk away on a random day. So I have that confidence and that trust in it that even when something's going wrong, my mind's already, big hairy ball sack shows up on my client's homepage. And believe me, the thoughts going through my head are, this is the end of it all. This is going to ruin my business. This is going to, my reputation, blah, blah, all the things that you would normally feel in a situation like that. Um, It'd be like, I mean, dude, if it'd be like if you were an auto mechanic and your customer came to pick up the car and someone took a suction cup dildo and stuck it to the hood of your customer's car as a prank and you didn't know about it and your customer comes in waving a big fucking 6 foot long dildo with a suction cup on it being like, I just pulled this fucking thing off my hood. What the fuck's going on? you know, that's what it felt like. I don't know where it came from. um, but I don't feel like he brought me down here and set things up and put me on this path just to throw me face down in the dirt and kick me again. So that helps me, whatever adversity I'm dealing with, those are the three things that help me get through it. Let it be what it is. Remind yourself that it's total bullshit that you're just making up in your own head and trust that God has a plan and he'll take care of this and he will put you on the right path. If you ask him to, you got your own free will. You can do what you want, but if you ask him for help, he'll come. May not be in the form that you want or expect, but he'll come. Um, and like the stress doesn't outright leave. Like I mean, I can get on with my day a lot easier when I'm stressed out about things right now than I ever could in my life because I've never been through more stressful shit in my life than I go through now. It's actually kind of more stressful not being in prison because I've got that in the back of my head. They could put me back in prison if they felt like it because I'm still on probation. They could, I've got that. Fuck, dude, I put on a show. It was probably a mistake. I had an HBO subscription because I wanted to watch this movie and it was cheaper to do that than any other method. And then I went to cancel it and they're like, well, you can keep it and we'll only charge you $3 a month. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine, $3 a month. So I'm trying to get my $3 worth one night and I find this documentary about prison because HBO got a ton of shit about prison life. And something about it, I was like, yeah, I'll watch this. And it was like I was right back in that motherfucker. Like, oh, you notice if you've ever been in prison and then you watch prison on TV, you see things, details, and you can like it puts you right back in that place. You put on if I watch that shit with a VR helmet, I'd have to take it off. like if that's how we're gonna watch TV in the future, I wouldn't be able to go put a VR helmet on and watch something filmed in a prison because it would be like I'm there again. All the little things you notice that you if you've never been in there, you wouldn't notice these things. Um, like here's an example. I just, all the little tables with the metal stools and stuff and the places to sit. I went okay, so my first night at the homeless shelter, for a period of time, they have a rec room in the basement of the homeless shelter and they had a couch. And the first night I was at the homeless shelter, I was sitting in the rec room on the couch. Like after the buzz, 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 the heart, the heartbeat in my head finally calmed down and I'm just like soaking it all in and I'm just like decompressing from everything. And I'm looking around and I'm like, holy fuck, this is the first time since August 12th of 2022 that I've sat on a fucking couch. That I sat on a padded chair. Like, if you've been in prison for 30 fucking years, your ass has never touched a cushion ever. It's a metal stool, a metal chair, a metal fucking, it's all metal stools, hard metal stools, or if you're lucky, maybe a plastic chair. And that's only if you're in like the low security prison in the federal system or whatever. But it's always just you're sitting on the floor, you're sitting on a metal stool, you're sitting on a fucking corrugated steel staircase. Um, your ass, your stainless steel toilet. You're not sitting on anything that's not steel for however many years you're in that motherfucker. Your ass will never touch anything padded ever. You sit on a fucking prison bus, it's rock hard plastic fucking seating or steel bench. There's no padding. No, I'll take it back. When I had to fly on Con Air, the seats were padded. Okay, there you go. I sat on a padded chair when I flew on Con Air because the federal government, whenever they buy the dilapidated planes that are held together with duct tape and shit, like they probably bought planes from Spirit Airlines to use to haul criminals around. And after Spirit got done fucking them up, because I'm telling you, I'm looking out the fucking window and their whole wing is held together with fucking duct tape, and I'm just like, holy fuck. And the marshals are telling you, they're like, yeah, if this plane's going down, we got parachutes, you don't. See ya. They don't give a fuck about you. They're all going to jump out the side of the plane with the parachute on, and you're just going to die. Handcuffed to a fucking seat. But it was padded. It was a padded seat. So, woo, that was an experience. I remember that now. But other than that, that's the first time I sat on a fucking couch in 2 years. You don't watch the prison show on HBO and have those thoughts going in your head when you see the tables with the little steel benches and stuff. You don't have that thought on how uncomfortable that is and how for 2 fucking years that was the only place you could sit. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. Like, you don't watch you don't I see all the smallest details if I watch a show like that now on TV. And it's like flashback city and it's one of my good friends, his dad was in D-Day. Fucking stormed the beaches of Normandy and watched everybody around him die and somehow lived through it. And he went to watch Saving Private Ryan. Dude fucking had to leave the movie theater within like 30 seconds bawling. And he couldn't watch. I don't even think the guy's alive anymore. But when he went to see Private Ryan, my friend was telling me, he's like, yeah, grandpa couldn't even fucking make it. 30 seconds into that movie, it was over. He tried. He's like, it was too much. It was like he said it was like he was right back there watching it all happen again. He said it was too real. And it just like he remembered watching his friends' heads explode and shit like that. And like I'm sitting here watching this HBO special, remembering the guy I saw get stabbed go running across the cell block with body parts falling out the side as he's running across the cell block, trying to hold his fucking body parts inside. And I'm looking on the floor. I'm like, is that a fucking spleen? Like, what is that? And is that a liver? But like, that's what it was. Oh my God. Like, oh, the prison shit. Don't ask how they get their fucking iPhones in there because they do. Other than the guards, most of the shit they get in the prison, the guards bring in and the prisoners pay via Cash App for. That's how they do it now. Or back in the before Cash App, somebody on the outside would meet up with the guard and pay, and then the guard would bring whatever in. Um, But the other way, they bring the phones in. Use your imagination. I wouldn't fucking touch a fucking cell phone in prison. I know where that fucking thing was. I don't want to put that in. Um, how the fuck do you even get an iPhone up there? But whatever, dude, they figure it out. Um, like maybe one of them little tiny thumb phones I could see, but people have fuck, dude, shit's crazy. Shit, and all that HBO special did was make me fucking miserable and just like reliving it like I was actually there. But there was some interesting stuff about this documentary, and I was just like, But I can't do that for a long fucking time. I can't watch something like that for a long time. Not right now. um You're all I'm saying is that I have a lot of anxiety and just like PTSD, and I know it's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm never going to be able to live a day of my life from now until the end where that doesn't affect me in some fashion. And I didn't have as rough of a ride as other people do through that situation, but it was bad. Um it's bad. Like these prisons, these jails are they're bad because the public don't give a fuck about it. The public is like, "Fuck them, they're criminals. Fuck them, who cares?" And then that allows the system to abuse people. The people running the jails are bigger criminals than the people in the jails now. And the people who send people to jail and prisons are bigger criminals than the people that they send there. And the whole thing is an industry, it's a business, and that business doesn't thrive on empty beds. We can, I know I've talked about this before. Bear with me while I type some stuff in. You can look this up. That's not that's not true. This happens so many times I can't even find the right fucking article. um yeah, just all you got to do is type in the kids for cash scandal. This happened in Pittsburgh and in Pennsylvania. There was a juvenile detention center in Pittsburgh called the Schumann Center, and it was a privately run prison for kids. A lot of our prisons now are private prisons. They're private corporations running jails and prisons. And so they're running jails and prisons now are a profit corporation running them for profit. They don't make money with empty beds. So these judges were getting kickbacks from the juvenile detention center for every kid that they sent there. And they got caught. Joe Biden pardoned them. But this one judge right here, $2.8 million in kickbacks for all the fucking kids that he sent to the juvie hall. A kid got caught jaywalking. You're going to juvenile detention center, and the parents couldn't get these kids out. Like it was a fucking mess. I don't even think they've opened the place up since. They've been trying to, but this was a scar on the city of Pittsburgh. And these judges went to prison for this, but they're not the only ones that do this. Um, he was sending 8-year-old kids to juvenile detention, first time offenders, jaywalking right there in the news article. That was a joke. That was a joke. I was joking about jaywalking, but here we go. As young as 8, petty theft, jaywalking, truancy, missing a few days of school, smoking on school grounds. They were sending these kids to prison, to juvenile prison, in exchange for kickbacks and getting a payout because it's a fucking business. And the people that run this business are the same people that put on the fucking robe and sit at the bench and bang the gavel and send people there. It's a fucking scam. This whole entire country, the United States, I mean, I'm rooting for this country to burn to the fucking ground. You know that if you've been watching this channel for a while. I have no love for the United States. I'll burn that fucking flag. Don't bring a flag to a camp. Don't bring a flag on a camping trip with me. That shit's going straight to the fire. I'm gonna start my fire with that flag after I wipe my ass with it after taking a dump out in the woods. I'll be like, oh, this flag's a lot better than a fucking than a baby wipe. There you go. Throw that bitch in the fire. Just don't. You're not gonna cook on that fire now, but we'll have a separate cooking fire, or we'll use the Coleman stove. Whatever we got to do. But I wipe my ass with the flag of this shit country. I hate the United States. And I mean, if we're gonna let satanic child molesters rule the country and allow them to keep getting away with that shit, I'm like, I think Jesus got my back on. He's probably ready to come down on his horse with his flaming sword and lightning bolts coming out of his mouth. And it ain't gonna be like Jesus of old, where he comes to heal the sick and raise the dead and feed 4,000 people with a couple of fish and a loaf of bread. No, Jesus is coming on a fucking horse with a sword. It's gonna be like that last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when those idiots opened up the ark to see what was in it. That's what Jesus is coming. That's the Jesus that's coming next. I'm ready. Come on. Come on, Jesus. Hallelujah. Come back. I just hope that he doesn't cut my head off because I mean, we're all sinners. According to the Bible, we all deserve it. And I'm not saying I'm innocent of sin, but I didn't buy a private island so that I could rape kids on it. So I don't know. Do we have different degrees of shit that's been done wrong? All I'm saying is that the whole entire world is going to hell, and I mean people have been saying people have been saying that for 2,000 years that the book of Revelation is about to come true. That may be so. How much worse is this shit going to get? And I hate asking that question because every time I ask that question, I'm like, oh, about a week after I ask the question, I'll see something. I'll be like, oh, all right. I guess that's how much worse it's going to get. Okay. Well, now how much worse can it get? Give it a couple of weeks. Oh, fuck. Didn't see that one coming. Um, so I'm just like, how much worse? I'm just going to ask it again. I'll ask it today and we can talk about it next week. How much worse is this shit going to get before Jesus is finally like, I'm done. Done here. I'm done with you motherfuckers. I'm coming back. Come on, man. How much worse? How much worse is that? And a lot of flock cameras showing up around town. I mean, that I think these data centers that so that we can all use AI to do all our fucking work now. That's not what the data center is for. Okay. I know I've told you the story about how during my discovery phase of my court case, the FBI gave my lawyer a PDF file that was 650,000 pages long. Okay. I'm going to look it up on Grok because I forget how tall that is. I think I know, but how tall would a stack of standard printer paper, 650,000 sheets tall be? Just give it a second. It's got to think about this one. It's got to calculate how many sheets of paper in a ream. It's it. Okay, you ready for this shit? They gave me a PDF document, my lawyer, with everything they had on me. Six 650,000 pages long. Not 650 pages, 650,000 pages long. I needed an external hard drive attached to the fucking laptop that I was using to look through my files. And my lawyer is like, I don't even know what the fuck. How are you going to find anything in? Okay, maybe I got lucky that AI wasn't where it is today. I don't know. 650. Have you ever seen a document that's 650,000 pages long? Okay. If you were to print that out, if you were to print out 650,000 sheets of paper on your printer, that would be a stack of paper 213 feet tall. Okay. I want to look this one thing up too. How tall? Because I think this is similar in height. No. Okay. So, all right. How 213 feet tall? That is the height of a 17 to 21 story building. A building with 20 floors. A building with an elevator that has 20 floors going up to the top would be the same height as the document that the FBI gave my lawyer of all the shit that they had about me. Let that sink in for a minute. 650,000 pages. Think about that. Like, it was everything. Every fucking thing, every text message, every phone call, everything you like. When I tell you people that since 1995 with Project Echelon under Bill Clinton, they have been gathering everything about you. Every single phone call you've ever made in your life, every single email you've ever sent, every fax, every titty picture you ever sent with a text message, every website you've ever been to, your passwords, what's in your bank account, every single thing you have ever done on a computer or a phone in your entire fucking life, going all the way back to 1995, is on file. Now you know why they need the data centers all over the place. Now you know why they got to suck up the entire Rio Grande to supply the water to cool the computers in the data center in Texas. It's not so that you can use Grok. It's not so that you can use Chat GPT to do your fucking to write your cover letter for your job application for the job that's going to be replaced by Chat GPT. They're building data centers because they're running out of fucking room to store all the shit they're gathering about you. Now with these flock cameras everywhere, they're literally all over the fucking country. These fucking cameras, the AI cameras watching your every move. and putting that in the data center. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. You can call me a tinfoil hat nut job. I don't give a fuck. I'm the one who has a 650,000 page document that proves that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You don't, but it's there. They can print that shit out. They can put it on a fucking 16 terabyte hard drive and send it to your lawyer if it's required as part of discovery in your upcoming case. The biggest problem that the government has had with gathering all the information that they gather about all of you is that a human being can't go, how the fuck do you go through a 650,000 page document and see what the fuck's in it? What's the longest book you ever read in your life? And how long did it take to read that book? And you're going to go through a 650,000 page document looking for crimes and evidence on somebody. But do you know how fast, if I took that 650,000 page document and uploaded it to Grok or Chat GPT or Google Gemini and asked it to go through and find all the things that it can find? You know how long that shit would take? About 2 minutes. It could go through that entire fucking thing in like 2 minutes and spit out a report of every single fucking thing that it found in that thing to flag. So they've been gathering all this shit about all of you since 1995, but they haven't had the resources or the capability to dig through it and figure out what the fuck they've got. But now they do. Now these data centers, they're going to start sifting through all this shit about all of you. Everything. Every phone call you've ever made, every single text message you've ever sent or received, every single fucking thing you've ever emailed somebody, every email you've ever received, every website you've ever viewed, everything you've ever done, ever. And they're going to have an AI bot that can go through it and tabulate everything there is to think, everything that they can. If they want to charge you with a crime, all they got to do is go chicka chicka chicka. Here you go. Here's the list of all the crimes this person did. And our laws are so numerous that the fucking lawyers and the judges and the cops and the politicians and the congressmen and the senators and the president, nobody knows what the fucking law is anymore because there's so many laws. And there's so many laws that there's studies out there where people have estimated that every single one of you, every single American citizen, no matter how good of a citizen you are, you commit 5 felonies every day. Felony. A felony is a crime that is punishable by 1 year or more in prison. A misdemeanor is a crime that's punishable by less than a year in jail. 5 felonies per day per American citizen, no matter who you are and how good you are, you're committing 5 felonies per day. 5 felonies. Now they've got everything about you, every phone call you've ever made, every email you've ever sent, every email you ever received, every text message you've ever sent or received, every website you've ever looked at, every single thing you've ever bought. You can't even go to a store and pay with cash now because they're watching you with the facial recognition cameras. Um, everything you've ever done, every single thing you've ever done your entire fucking life, everything you've said, everything you've sent, everything you've received, everything, they have it all. And all they got to do is go to the AI bot. Hey, Chat GPT, how many crimes can I charge this guy with? Here's 105 felonies a day. 5 felonies per day. All of you. 365 days per year times 5. That's 1,825 felonies that you commit every year, unbeknownst to you. But nobody knows what the fucking law is anymore. We can get into that here in a minute. We can. How tall would the stack of paper be of the law? Would it be 213 feet tall like the document they sent me? I don't know. And what's the judge gonna say? When they charge you with one of these felonies and you go to the judge and you say, "Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know I was committing?" Ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking the law. You're supposed to know all 900 pages or 900,000 pages of the United States Code. And if you don't, well, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking the law. That's what they're gonna tell you. If you broke the law and you get charged just because you didn't know, every single person in America, with these flock cameras, um, with these flock cameras, JS says supposedly you can buy a face mask that can defeat AI recognition cameras. Sure, and they can recognize you by your height, the length of your arms compared to the length of your legs, your gait. They can study how you walk. Are you flat footed? Are you pigeon toed? Like they're capturing all that shit. You don't even need, you could cover your face with a fucking black hood and they'll still figure out who you are. You can leave your phone at home, cover your face with a black hood, wear gloves, walk with a fake limp. I don't know. Like you could go around in a fucking wheelchair when you don't need a wheelchair. I mean, they're gonna fucking get you. Um, the air that you breathe, they probably got some sensor now on the flock camera that can get your DNA out of the air because you're breathing 100 feet away from the thing. I don't know. All I know is like, yeah, you're talking about these things are popping up in parking lots all over the place. Yeah, it's for safety. Yeah, they got the solar panel and it's on a big tower and it's a camera and sometimes they got a flashing blue light at the top. You know why they put the flashing blue light at the top? Because then all the people look at it and go, "Oh, what's that flashing blue light?" Ding, 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 ding. Got your face scan. They make sure everybody looks directly at the camera by putting a big flashing light on it so that you go, "What's that?" Face scan. They're scanning your license plate when you pull in and out of the parking lot. In fact, some towns are giving people speeding tickets because a flock camera saw them at the Walmart parking lot. And then 15 minutes later, they're at Home Depot on the other side of town. And the flock camera determines the system Palantirs figures out, oh, they couldn't have driven from Walmart to Home Depot in that amount of time unless they were speeding, and you get a speeding ticket in the mail. um, it's not going to be long before you go to court and you're in front of a fucking AI judge. And it won't be like a murder trial to start. Like in downtown, here's how I explain it to people with all this AI bullshit. They're going to sell it to you like it's a good thing. Why waste taxpayers' money on paying a judge? So in downtown Pittsburgh, right? There's a bunch of parking lots in downtown Pittsburgh that are owned by the city. Some are private, some are owned by the city, the Pittsburgh Parking Authority. Well, in the ground level of one of those parking lots, it's in between Wood Street and it's in a back alley off of Wood Street. I forget it's not Stanwix. It's one of the back alley streets that goes from Stanwix to Wood Street. There's a parking garage there, and in the first floor of the parking garage, it's the Pittsburgh Parking Ticket Court. So if you get a parking ticket and you want to fight it in court, there's a fucking parking ticket judge in the parking ticket court that you can go to on the first floor of that parking garage. And I mean, fuck, dude, that's like, if you're a fucking judge of the parking ticket court, like that's got to be like the shit. You got to be the shittiest judge in town to end up with the parking ticket court judiciary. You're a long way from getting appointed to federal district court judge, federal magistrate. Climbing your way up from parking ticket court judge is going to be a long haul. That's like going to fucking medical school and being stuck being the ass doctor. You were this close to being a gynecologist, getting to look at vaginas all day, and you got stuck being a ass doctor, whatever the proctologist or whatever. You got to like pull apart hairy assholes and stick your hand in people's assholes all day, getting shit all over yourself. Like that's parking ticket court judge. That's you went to law school so you could go be parking ticket court judge. But they have a parking ticket court in downtown Pittsburgh. And you can go fight your parking ticket there. So they're going to come up one day and they're going to be like, "Well, we could just replace parking ticket court with AI." You go into parking ticket court and there's a fucking camera on the wall with a fucking face on a TV screen that's just some bullshit. You know, like those YouTube slop videos where it's just an AI generated. There was a guy in India who made an AI generated OnlyFans whore, and he was making like $65,000 a month. And he moved to the United States, and I think he became a United States citizen, all because he got a bunch of fucking retarded ass simps to pay him 60 fucking $1,000 a month to look at naked pictures of an AI generated OnlyFans whore. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I've been thinking all this time, I wish I was a girl so I could be an OnlyFans whore. That would be my dream right now. If I could just go spread my legs and show my pussy and make $65,000 a month right now, I'd be doing that. I'd be taking pictures of my vagina right now and uploading them at 8 o'clock. I wouldn't be on YouTube right now, I'll tell you that, but I don't cock doesn't sell like that. So it's not an option for me. I did not realize that I could just go to fucking Chat GPT or whatever, Grok, and make an AI generated OnlyFans whore and make 65 large. As I don't know if the window's closed on that opportunity yet. But anyway, I digress. We're back to the parking ticket court. So you're going to go up to the parking ticket court. You're going to walk up to the screen, to the little camera, get your face scanned. The AI generated parking ticket court judge comes on the TV screen and you fight your fucking traffic ticket. You fight your parking ticket with the AI judge. And people really aren't going to bitch about that. They're like, oh, it's saving the taxpayers some money. Ha ha ha. So now we can go build the Pittsburgh Steelers a brand new stadium because their stadium's, 2 years old. And they need a new one now. So, we can save some money. We don't have to pay the judge at the parking ticket court. So the Steelers can have a new stadium. And people will be all right with that. And then people will get used to that. And then it's going to be traffic court. You get a speeding ticket instead of going to the magistrate or the local town judge or whatever. You're going to go to an AI court. You're going to walk up into a camera, raise your right hand. A Bible's going to come out on a robot arm out of the wall. Like the Carl's Jr. machine in Idiocracy. Would you like some big ass fries? It's going to be like that, but it's going to be a judge. A Bible comes out of the fucking slot. You have to put your hand on it and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God, blah, blah, blah. Bible gets sucked back into the fucking thing. A judge comes on, an AI judge comes. How do you plead? Blah, 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 this and that. And you fight your speeding ticket with an AI judge. And it's just going to go downhill. It's going to evolve from there to where you get charged with fucking murder and you're going in front of the AI judge, just like that movie that just came out on Amazon Prime, where the guy comes up out of a fucking hole in the floor and he's strapped to an electric chair and he's got an hour to prove to the AI judge that he's innocent, or they kill him right there and shock him in the fucking chair. That's what we're heading for. That's what we're heading for. And it's already too late. I don't understand how we got 350 million people living in this country. 290 million of which are armed to the teeth, and about 100 to 200 satanic child molesters, pedophiles in charge of the government, and nobody's going to do anything about it. We're just going to keep letting them rape the fucking kids and doing what they do. We're just going to be cool with that. We're still going to let that happen. But whatever, dude. I'm done. I don't give a fuck anymore. This country can burn to the fucking ground for all I care. Um, I'm just gonna post some fire memes and shit post about it on X, talk shit about it on YouTube, make a couple bucks, do some freelance work. I'm just gonna live my life not giving a fuck anymore because I've already been homeless. I've already been in prison. I've been to the bottom of the barrel, and if that's where I'm gonna go back at some point, if I gotta go find a nice bridge to live under, get myself a shopping cart and a cardboard box, a bottle of hooch and a bag of crack, so be it. So be it. I'll be living better than a lot of people if that's the day that if the day that happens. So at this point, fuck it. If that's the worst life will ever be from here out, okay. It's not my goal. It's not my goal in life. But if that's the worst that it can get, all right, fine. Fine. Um, I am going to look into that. I do. I should look into the AI OnlyFans whore market because I gotta find a golden ticket. Like my retribution has to be finding some retarded ass shit that makes me rich, so that I can turn back at the people that ruined my life and say, "Eat a dick." Like that's how it has to go. That would be the sweet revenge that I'm looking for. I don't know if Jesus would be cool with me taking money from stupid simps with an AI generated OnlyFans whore. But it's not like it's a real whore. It's not like it's a real person. It's just and would it be much different than living back in the 1500s painting oil paintings of naked chicks? There's tons of those in the art museums, and that's respectable. It's respectable to go to the art museum, the Carnegie Museum of Art, and look at a bunch of naked chicks on the wall that were oil paintings, but I can't make an AI generated OnlyFans whore and make 65 large a month by putting a bunch of titty pictures up on OnlyFans of a fake girl that's not even real. That's very very that's very bad. Yeah. Okay. So, what else can we talk about tonight? I don't know. Bring it up in the chat. I know whenever I start talking about pedophile island, the counter goes down, down, down because nobody wants to hear about Jeffrey Epstein Island. That really drives them away every time. But it just shows you how everybody just wants to put their fucking head in the sand and act like it's no big deal. Um, so what's the future of the channel? I talked about this a little bit in the video that I'm about to post. Oh, Blue Sky asked AI which government agency is responsible for weather modification. Didn't RFK come out and basically admit that they're doing chemtrails recently? I only get my news from memes and the Babylon Bee. Like those are the only two sources of news that I pay attention to anymore. But I still seem to know what's going on. That's the fucked up thing. Pretty much nothing happens without me finding out in like 10 minutes. Um JS, you'll get the house tour whenever I finish. You see that mess back there? If I let's see, if I switch to this camera, you can kind of see it back there. Um, no response. Only companies are allowed to modify the weather. Well, I heard that RFK was admitting that the chemtrails is not a conspiracy theory. Another conspiracy theory turns out to be fact. Um, let's see. Um, Rainmaker. Yeah, I've heard of them. Cloud seeding. I mean, there's an episode of Top Gear where Jeremy Clarkson is standing in front of a big cloud seeding machine that generates rain. And then they tell you that you're a conspiracy theorist if you believe weather modification is real. The one thing I keep saying that I notice here in Houston, may I don't know if it's the neighborhood I live in or Houston in general, I don't see chemtrails here. And believe me, I would know. I would see them. I would see them. We have cloudy days. And we have bright sunny days with no clouds in the sky. And I never see the chemtrails. I see jets going across the sky with a trail coming off of them. But before the jet disappears from the edge of the sky, you can look at the other end of the tail and it's already gone. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like the jet goes across the sky and the streak that it left behind just hangs out in the sky for the next 8 hours and just kind of spreads out and turns into this hazy shit show looking like a tic-tac-toe board going all over the sky. I don't see that here because I notice that shit all the time. I've been talking about this stuff for years, and I'll just point up to people and be like, look at that. When I was in Danbury, Connecticut, in the federal prison, every fucking day they were chemtrailing that shit. Every day, crisscross, 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 all day long. Every single day that the sun was out. Chemtrail, chemtrail, chemtrails. You're right out. You're basically, it's a suburb of New York City. And they were covering that shit every fucking day. Chemtrails. Um, I don't see it here. I've looked. I mean, I pay attention to the sky. I can't think of a single time since I moved here in September of 2024 that I've seen chemtrails. I asked my friend, I don't think he even notices anymore. I don't think he pays that much attention to that anymore because we don't see them here. Like I would definitely notice chemtrail filled skies now because I haven't seen one in so long. Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, all the time. Not every day. In Pittsburgh and in Mercer where I lived, it wasn't every day, but it was like once or twice a week you would see the chemtrails. I mean, I'm a photographer. I liked to take pictures of sunsets. And do you know how many times I would have a sunset get ruined because of all the fucking chemtrails that they crisscrossed all over the sky, blotted out the sun at the end of the day, or just made the sky look like total dog shit to where it's not worth taking a picture of it because it's the whole sky's just covered in shit. You would have to wait until certain cloudy days, partially cloudy days, or that rare occasion where it's a cloudless sky and no chemtrails. Um, so I do have some banging sunset pictures, but up in the northeast United States, they're chemtrailing that shit all the time. Um, Blue Ridge Parkway, I would take at least one trip all the way up and down the Blue Ridge Parkway and Skyline Drive at least once a year because that was like a zen thing for me. Um, and it's just peace and tranquility and a lot of chemtrails, a lot of chemtrails on those mountain skies. But I would get a good mix of it wasn't every single day. So I would get the sunsets. I got a good mix of pictures and stuff. But I've been places where every single fucking day it's chemtrail, chemtrail, chemtrails. Um, I went to the Grand Canyon one day. They were chemtrailing the Grand Canyon the whole fucking day. And there was not a cloud in the sky in the morning, all the way up until noon. And the whole sky was just full of crisscross chemtrails. And I sat there. I was at the Grand Canyon the whole from like before the sun came up to after sunset, just watching the the chemtrails float down into the canyon. And as they went down into the canyon, the visibility across the other side of the canyon was reduced to like haze. It was crazy. And you couldn't like the sunset. The way I took my sunset picture that day, I had the sun to my back. Um, and I was just lighting up the canyon and I was getting that low, golden hour sunlight, but you couldn't see the sun. It was just a ball of haze shining through the chemtrails that day. But if I was backlit facing the canyon with the sun to my back at an overlook, I got a decent panorama from that. But I'll notice the chemtrails. If I'm outside, I would notice that shit. I don't see them here. I pay attention. If I see a plane going across the sky and a trail's coming off of it, I'm watching. I'm like, well, that's not a chemtrail. If it disappears, 'cause that was like that when I was a kid. I used to watch the planes all the time when I was a little kid flying across the sky, and you'd see that big trail of white smoke going across. But the plane would be moving and the back of the tail would be moving at the same time, and it would just disappear. It wouldn't just stay hanging there for the next 8 fucking hours, just spreading out and becoming this fucking thick ass haze of shit in the sky. But Bill Gates and the gang, they're gonna do whatever if they're allowed to rape kids and pretty much just tell everybody, yeah, we're gonna rape the fucking kids. We got a whole island that we take them to. And you know what? There's nothing you can fucking do about it, you fucking peasants. If they found out they can rape kids at will and just do whatever the fuck they want, yeah, Bill Gates is like, I'm gonna drop a bunch of ticks all over the country. We're gonna drop boxes of ticks all over the place this summer and make all you motherfuckers sick because we don't want you eating meat anymore. Fuck you. If you're not going to arrest him for raping kids, you're not going to arrest him for dropping ticks off at everybody's farm, are you? These people, they figured out we can do whatever the fuck we want, you stupid fucking peasants. Fuck you. Fuck you, peasants. We're going to do what we want. We're above the law. We are the law. Donald Trump, he can go choke on a fucking dick too. That he is the biggest fucking traitor this country has ever seen. Um Shit. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. We could go to X, see what's going on, do some live shit posting. I got to get some apps. Before we even do that, I got to get some apps turned on if we're going to go there tonight. Um Hold on. I got this. Oh yeah. Okay. Got my meme collection popping up. Okay. We got buffer. Is that pretty much all I need? The three things? Yeah, that sounds good. Dr. Bill Gates. Yeah. So I was showing you earlier. So anybody who wants an invite to this, I was going to put it up. I was going to put the link on the chat. In fact, before I do that, um, it's going to be here. So links.litgood.com. When I get the invite figured out, I just got to figure out one thing before I invite everybody to join Meme Team 6. I already have the domain name for it and everything. So it's basically just a little website, Meme Team 6 headquarters. And when you get here, it's a wall of memes. 167 pages of memes, 995 memes in the collection. You can page through them. They're not all going to have keywords. There is a list of keywords here. You can scroll through. I can say, okay, Eddie Murphy, a couple of Eddie Murphy memes. Here's Eddie Murphy, daycare owners in Minnesota with no clients. If you're looking for a good meme, you can join Meme Team 6. Come to Meme Team 6 headquarters and search for the memes. Now you can look them up by keyword. You can set filters. This is a pretty powerful filter at the top. But I also have special collections on the side. So we got UFC Fight Night at the White House. Here we go. Right now, it looks like a meth family moved in August 26th, 2025, May 28th, 2026. I got a whole bunch more of the UFC memes coming out. Um, I've been dumping memes into the database like once a week. I don't have time to do it every day. But last week's meme dump was like 600 memes. So, and I don't have time to give them all keywords. So some of them you might just have to go wild card and go digging through, see what you find because they're not all going to have they won't all have keywords associated with them. You know, memers seasoning your feed daily, but if you're on X, if you want to be a shit poster, if you want to join Meme Team 6, I can send you a link. You can sign. You can join this. It's free. You don't have to pay nothing. You will have to put your email address, create a password to get into it, but it's free. It's not. You don't got to pay nothing. In fact, the more people that sign up to be a part of Meme Team 6, I'll actually get a discount on what I have to pay to have this app running. Um, here we go. We got Pride Month. We got all the memes that you want. We got Lindsey Graham. Here's war and here's Lindsey Graham meant for each other. We got all the memes. If you hate the Democrats, if you hate the Republicans, come one, come all. We got an extensive Donald Trump collection of memes. Um, we got Seal of the piece of shit of the United States. That's comes in handy. We got Donald Trump is the emperor. I mean, we can go here and I can just be like Trump and emperor. If you want to make fun of Donald Trump, that he's a Roman emperor, has all of. I mean, we got full of Shiticus, Julius Pedophilius. We've got this one here, Nero playing the fiddle. We got Emperor Trump. We got them all. We got UFC Fight Night, Emperor Trump looking over the steel cage match, the Gladiator Arena. Um, Meme Team 6 is almost in full effect. So anybody who wants to be a part of it, if you want to flush cat turd down the shitter, I got the whole collection of everything you need to go after cat turd. You know, Donald Trump and cat turd on Trump Back Mountain. Um, we got all of Cat Turd's Twitter posts where he's like Lauren Boebert, who actually fights for the American people, followed by it's time to get rid of Lauren Boebert. You get whatever they're paying him to post. I don't know if this is actually Cat Turd, but that's what the meme says, and I only get my news from memes. So if that's Cat Turd, if that's a picture of Cat Turd without the cat, whatever, but it works. It's a good part of the collection. Um, Get in loser. We're defending pedophiles to own the libs. That's a good one. This pink MAGA hat. We got the Franklin helps cat turd bury the evidence. The Franklin memes were there was a Franklin phase on X where there were so many Franklin book covers. I've got a lot of them. We got Laura Loomer, crazy ass bitch. You want to make fun of her? You want to go after Laura Loomer? You got what you need right here on Meme Team 6 headquarters. Laura Loomer, she basically looks like Jigsaw with too much drugstore makeup. Get your memes, get them all. Right here, we got the Pride Month collection right next to the anti Donald Trump collection. You're not going to find them all in one place unless you come to Meme Team 6 headquarters. But now you got Donald Trump in a diaper. You got more than one of those. Donald Trump in a diaper there. We also got, where's the other one? Right here, we got Donald Trump. We got the X ray of Donald Trump wearing his diaper. Like, we got them all. I've got them all. Sometimes I log in and there's just so many bangers. Saving Epstein's clients. I've got 3 or 4 different versions of this movie poster. I don't know where they all are, but there's like 6 different ones of those flying around. Here's the new Pentagon that Donald Trump's working on building. We got them all of them. So, come one, come all. I'll share the link. I was about to share it tonight and just invite all of you, but there's one thing I've got to work through before I can do that. But I don't know what's going on with X. Let's see where I'm at. We got 895 followers. Can we get to 900 during the live stream? I don't know. Um, let's see who who do we got to troll. I'm kind of really not in the I'm kind of not in the mood for it, to be honest. I got to be in the right mood to troll on X. Um, when I'm in that mood, when I'm taking like an hour off from my day to just screw around and start shit posting and trolling people, it's like boom, 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 boom. For like in half an hour, I can post like 40 or 50 things and just go at it. But if I'm not in that frame of mind, just not feeling it right now, to be honest. Um, so I don't know. Whatever you guys want to talk about, it's cool with me. We got some time to kill. Um, I keep finding every time I right click and save another meme into the meme folder on my MacBook. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of there because that's just gonna suck my attention away. Um, but yeah, you can. So what the future of the channel? I'm just gonna kind of, like I said, I'm gonna try to do some stuff on X, like I'm doing, because within a couple of weeks, my follower count there will be more than YouTube. YouTube's locked. I don't, but okay. There's two sides to the YouTube lockdown and shadow ban. I can't control anything that they do. But if I keep doing the same thing that I'm doing week after week, expecting to get a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So I've got to do something different. Um, to be honest, the most productive, like the when I was given the daily updates from the tiny house and the subsequent move, um, those were generating lots of clicks, even though the subscriber count wasn't growing. People were watching them, and the ad revenue was actually, for what it was decent. But then I stopped doing it because it was a lot of work, and I just want to grow the channel. I don't really. It's not. I'm not trying to like get rich or make money from it. I'm just doing this because it's fun. But if if I can strike a balance, that's cool too. Make this one of my 6 streams of income, that's fine. This has helped me out of a jam more than once. Just the money that came from YouTube. And so, but I would like to see 100 people show up to a live stream and see that chat thing just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I think the most we've ever had in a chat here is like 25 people. And it's because of the shadow ban. So the things I'm not doing, if I start putting up videos that are like 15 minutes long or less, will that do anything to unshadow ban it? If I pick a topic, talk about it, I can record the video with my phone at the same time I'm recording my screen. So I could do like I could talk for 15 minutes about something and have like I do on the live stream and just, share my screen while I talk and just kind of, but I can be a little more prepared than a live stream. And I can edit and clip things and tighten it up a little bit over what you would see in a live stream. And so I'll try to do that, try to do some shorter topics and see if any of that gets any traction. Kind of focused around the same stuff that the channel always focuses on. And see, and I would like it to be stuff that's useful to people too. I've got ideas for different things. And then I'm going to do shorts videos. I've been cutting up YouTube shorts for a client, and they're actually doing pretty well for him in terms of traction. And he's getting some views on that. And it was kind of inspiring for me because he's not getting views on his regular videos at all. But his shorts are actually picking up a little steam. And so I'm like, well, maybe if I cut some of my stuff up into shorts, the short attention span 3-minute videos, I can get multiple things out of it. I can put that on YouTube as a shorts video, but I can also put them on X. If I wanted to put it on Instagram, I can revive my TikTok account with short videos. And I've gotten pretty good at taking like 20-minute blocks of content to shorten down to a 3-minute short and still tell the story and pick the best parts and compress it down to like the 3 best minutes of the 20. So I got a workflow down for that. And that'll help. When I do it for myself, I'll be able to do it with some speed and efficiency. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that probably before I do any serious like long content videos, but I'm going to keep doing the live streams and I want to do some members only stuff. I don't know what though. I don't know like members, channel members. If you're in the chat or if you're watching the replay, what do you want to see more of? Because I want to, channel members is a thing. I want to figure something out there too. Like, what's the best bang for the buck to do stuff just for the members? And so I'm just trying, I got to do something. The point is, I just got to do something different. Shake the tree and see what falls out. Um, Change it up a little bit. At least I can say I'm doing. If I don't do anything new and just keep doing the same old, and nothing changes, then I can blame YouTube all day, but I can also blame myself. But if I shake it up and do different things and try different things and mess around and play in the sand, basically it's like a little kid playing in the sandbox till you find something that works. Just like the guy from India that said, you know what? I think I'm going to make a OnlyFans whore with AI and make 65 grand a month. Like that's what I'm trying. That's the golden ticket I'm looking for. I'm not looking to work for a living. If a guy from India can make a fake OnlyFans whore with AI and make 65 grand a month on OnlyFans with a robot whore, and here I am, like, why would I go to work when I could be doing that? I mean, seriously, this is what a little kid on YouTube. I was talking about him, little kid on YouTube, Ryan's World. This fucking kid makes 25 million a year to play with toys on YouTube. $25 million a year. A kid makes $25 million a year to play with some fucking toys. And I got to go work at a fucking job. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. Like anybody who tells me I'm insane, there's a little kid making $25 million a year to play with some fucking toys. So there's got to be something out there. There's got to be something I can do. That's all I'm getting at. A grumpy cat, an angry fucking cat. Where are we at? This thing. You remember Grumpy Cat? This fucking cat. This angry fucking cat. This fucking cat made millions of dollars. A cat. He's got his own book. He has a whole bunch of books. He had his own movies. He had his own cartoon show. This fucking grumpy ass cat on Facebook, just a fucking grumpy cat. Had his grumpy cat Grumpachino. I didn't spell it right, but there it is. Grumpy cat Grumpachino cappuccino drink. Had his own fucking coffee. I have my own cold brew coffee, for crying out loud. This fucking cat made millions of dollars. A cat. A fucking cat made millions of dollars. This fucking cat is living in a fucking mansion, eating filet mignon and lobster every fucking night, while old people are working at Walmart eating cat food every night because they don't make enough money at Walmart to buy groceries. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to be a Walmart greeter eating cat food when a fucking cat made millions of dollars and lived in a fucking mansion eating filet mignon every night for dinner. Fuck Fancy Feast. That cat had his own chef. Gordon Ramsay worked for that fucking cat, making meals for it every night because the cat made more money than him. So fuck that shit. I'm not gonna be the guy who goes and the honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. That's bullshit. Especially this day and age when a guy from India can make a fake whore with AI, put her pictures up on OnlyFans and make 65 grand a month. I don't He may have made 30 grand a month. I don't even whatever the fuck, man. I can't even make that much in a fucking year doing the honest day's work, honest day's pay shit. So when a little kid's out there making 25 million a year to play with some fucking toys, I'm done. I'm fucking done, man. I am going to I will die trying. I will either find my golden ticket and show you that it's all possible. Like my goal is to show you what's possible. It's not just, I'm not just I'm going to prove that I'm not full of shit or I'm going to die trying. One or the other. I don't know how it's going to go. I can't predict that far in advance. But you keep doing dumb shit every day, something's gonna you keep throwing dumb shit against the wall, one of those turds is gonna stick and it's not gonna slide down the wall. And that's, whether it's a grumpy cat, whether it's a 8 year fuck dude, go make another baby and put it on YouTube. Here, kid, play with some fucking toys. God damn it. No, Johnny, it's not time for bed yet. You got to go play with some more fucking toys. You're an influencer now, little Johnny. I know you're only 4 years old. Get out there and make that fucking money. We got a mansion to pay for. Get out there and play with the fucking toys. Shut the fuck up and go play with the toys. Like, is that what that Ryan's World kid? Is that what his parents are like? No, you're not going to bed. Get out there and play with those fucking toys, you motherfucker. We got a $6,000 a month electric bill to pay. Get out there and play with your fucking toys, kid. If you don't get out there and play with your toys, I would lock you in your room, but that's where all your fucking toys are. So, no. Oh my God. Like, as punishment for little Ryan from that channel, is punishment making him go play with his fucking toys? Like, does that kid get sick of playing with fucking toys and he just wants to sit in a quiet room staring at the fucking corner? Because his mom and dad are like Tiger Woods' dad, making him play with toys 20 hours a day because they got bills to pay and Lamborghinis to fucking, I need an oil change for the Lamborghini. It's going to be 40 grand. Get out there and play with some fucking toys, asshole. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm sure they're the best parents. But shit, dude, if I could go make a baby somewhere, make another random baby and exploit it to make money off of it, why the fuck not anymore? Why the fuck not? But people are doing that all the time. I'm not gonna sell it to fucking Jeffrey Epstein's crowd and have it passed around on a fucking island or whatever, but mean, if I could buy a bunch of fucking toys and oh, you got $30 million playing with toys on YouTube. That ain't. I mean, it's not a bad life for that kid. I don't get it, man. I just don't. I gotta figure something out. The time is ticking, and I'm not getting any younger. So I'm not gonna be a Walmart greeter. I know a lot of people, I get this shit all the time. You know, a lot of people are like, you're a piece of shit criminal. You don't deserve to ever. There's a lot of people who have told me you should have been put in prison for the rest of your life for a tweet. Okay, yeah, whatever, dude. But you know, there's a lot of people out there that feel that way, and they're mad that I'm out on the streets now. You know, but these fucking child molesters in charge, when they do get caught, they get like a month, 60 days in jail. And then they get to go home and fucking rape more kids. It's all good. Um, Hunter Biden's out on Twitter. Hunter Biden, here's a funny story. My best friend's on Twitter, and he trolled Hunter Biden today, and Hunter Biden replied to him. I can pull up the fucking tweet. It was pretty funny. Um, Actual Hunter Biden, not a fake Hunter Biden account. Hunter Biden replied to my fucking friend on Twitter, and the post blew up today. But he didn't get any followers out of it. He's kind of pissed about that. But that's how Twitter is. If you're or X or whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna take me a minute to find it. But because Twitter, the X algorithm, it shows you Cat Turd, Elon Musk, Laura Loomer, and like three other people, and that's it. That's the only, like, those are the only people who post shit on their own feed that X lets anybody else see. I follow hundreds of people, and I see five fucking accounts. Whenever I log in, I see posts from, here it is, Cat Turd. I see Elon Musk, Laura Loomer. I see like five people's fucking posts out of hundreds of people that I follow. And that's the only shit that they'll show me. And that's how it is with everybody on X. So unless you're one of those five people that they let get big, you can post shit to your own timeline and nobody will see it. So if I were to go down here and go to my profile, so the stuff on my own timeline, I put the White House looks like Six Flags that closed because it got hit by a hurricane. Posted that meme today. 27 people saw it, one person liked it. You were talking about the Matrix. Me afraid to express my opinion because I'm worried I won't fit in. Me realizing I've never fit in and have already attracted the same crowd of misfits. Um, Neo, the one. How many views did I get? 5 views, 1 like. Because it's on my timeline and X won't show that to anybody. But if I go into my analytics, I can show you that this one day, here's 185,000 views on a fucking post. And all it was, here's a post about Bill Gates. That post on somebody else's account, one of the 5 accounts that they let people see, a reply to that person got 40 almost 40,000 views. 40,000 views for posting a reply, but um but when you post your own shit, nobody ever sees it. It's lost in the void. And so that's the whole trick to X. Everybody's saying that. And it sucks cuz right now I follow 236 people. Um and I don't see any of these fucking people's shit when I come in. I don't see any of this stuff. No matter what button I hit, if I hit for you, following, and I switch that to latest, popular, it don't matter. It's like 5 accounts. Oh, I see the White House. Oh, there's Cat Turd again. There's Cash Patel again. The same fucking people. There's Laura Loomer. I told you. I told you it's the same fucking people every goddamn time. 5 or 6 people. That's Elon Musk. Boom, right there. Exactly what I just said. There's the only fucking shit I see. Oh, cat turd again. Oh, Gunther Eagleman. It's like 5 fucking people. Oh, Cash Patel once again. That's all they fucking show you. It fucking sucks. So the only way for people to see your stuff is to go to the White House and then, and say, okay, fine, Donald Trump. Talking about the pool. Um, oh, that's a good one, probably. I think that one's a good one. I gotta save that one to my meme folder. But here we go. Donald Trump. What do we got in the Trump collection? I'm just gonna hit him up with a troll. Um, I don't know. I'm really not in the mood for this one. Um, just how about campaign promises on fire? That's a good one. Here you go, Donald Trump. Fuck you. And I can do that. If I was in the mood, I could be banging out 50 of these in a 5-minute span. But I follow hundreds of people and I see 5 people whenever I log in, and that's all I see. And that's how it is for everybody. So my buddy trolled Hunter Biden today, and I got to dig through the replies here. Um, which one was this? Oh, President Trump. This was ABC News. Donald Trump compares the UFC arena at the White House to the Eiffel Tower and says he might make it permanent and have fucking cage fights. I'm sure I'm a guessing that that's a troll. That's just a troll. But what if that fucking arena, what if the Thunderdome at the White House is a permanent addition and there's cage fights every fucking week at the White House from now on? Emperor Trump's birthday. But, just like fucking it's just like idiocracy, man. It's just like idiocracy. Um so anyway, how far down do I got to go to get to where my friend posted his shit today? Um Here's Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, hanging out with his wife on a summer vacation back in 1986. I thought that was a good banger of a post. Here's Elon Musk. Oh, here's the engineers at XAI, one of Elon Musk's companies. There's like this one white guy surrounded by hundreds of Indian H-1B visa holders, one white guy in the whole fucking crowd. So I was like, well, that's a good meme for that one. You either know what that is or you don't. Um, let's see. Um, Here's some anti-MAGA stuff. Oh yeah, it's only been 10 years since Donald Trump told Hillary Clinton she'd be in jail. I guess just 2 more weeks, right, QAnon? 2 more fucking weeks. Oh, here's Jesus. I thought I made myself clear about this whole golden statue thing. I just wish Jesus would come take these motherfuckers out. It has to be newer than this. In fact, it's probably. Holy shit, did he get another one? No. Where is it? 22. I don't know where it is. I don't see it. I'm gonna have to. I did have a direct link, but I don't know where the fuck it is now. But anyway, Hunter Biden replied to my friend here, and I just can't find it because everything in X. That's the one thing that sucks about X is everything has a short life. It gets buried. It lasts, 10 minutes and it's gone forever. And I wish that they would come out with a platform that could compete with YouTube, long form video content where people can put real shit like Rumble, like BitChute, like YouTube, but something that could actually stand up to YouTube and put a hurt on their market share. And I think this is the only way that, Elon Musk was talking about buying OnlyFans. I can't find this fucking post to save my life. Uh, oh, right there. Right. He posted this and then Hunter Biden replied to it directly and mentioned had him mentioned. Yeah, so that was the post. Hunter Biden replied directly to my friend's post here. Um Hunter Biden was going off about Donald Trump Jr. married the daughter of Epstein's banker. Like all these child molesting satanic douchebags are all in bed together. Um, and my buddy was like, "Hey, I like this, but if you want to be taken seriously, you need to get honest about everything, brother. Everything. Let's fucking go." And then Hunter replied, "You can ask me anything you want." And my buddy's post got 73,000 views. But then he only got like 6 followers out of it. He got 40 fucking thousand views, 70 something thousand views now. What is it? 73,000 views for his post that Hunter Biden replied to, and he got like 4 followers out of it. And so it's like, it's just a game, you know what I mean? But like this fucking cat turd dickwad, like here I go. Let's go to For You. Let's just go to, yeah, For You. There he is. Second fucking goddamn thing on the page. And all it is cat turd saying, "Did Tucker Carlson end up being the biggest piece of shit in the universe or what?" He'll just type cat turd types a fucking sentence. He types a fucking sentence and he hits post. 140,000 views in 2 hours. 526 reposts, 7,500 likes, and this fucking dickwad has 4 million followers. Like, how the fuck? But it's like that whole you have to be popular to get or you have yeah, to get popular you have to be popular. So, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take year. It's going to take a long time. My goal right now is to get to 100,000. I'm not even at 1,000. I hope that the momentum picks up a little bit. But in terms of platforms where the party is still on and platforms where the party's over. Facebook party's over. There's no you could start a Facebook account today, you could be popular. You start a Facebook account today, you could hack away at that bitch for 30 fucking years and not even get 100 followers. Instagram dead. Anything Meta, Instagram, Facebook, that's all dead. That shit's dead. There's nothing going on there. You can't start a new account at those platforms and grow it. If you're trying to be an influencer or whatever, you could be a whore putting bikini pictures up with your camel toe hanging out, and you still won't grow a following on Facebook. Instagram, yes. Facebook, no. Um, YouTube, you can grow. YouTube, you can be a nobody, start posting some shit. It can take off. even to this day, especially if you play by the rules and you're woke, especially if you're woke and you're into all that bullshit. If you're celebrating Pride Month this month, your shit'll take off. Ooh, Pride Month. We're pushing Pride Month this month. Yay, it's June. They get a whole month. Veterans get a day. Veterans who fought and died for America get a day. The gays get a whole fucking month. Big fucking parade, trophies, big big blue rubber dildo trophy with a "I'm a brave soul" at the bottom of the plaque. They get a whole fucking month of this shit. Everything turns gay. Every fucking company has a gay rainbow logo now. All the NFL teams got a gay rainbow logo, big rainbows in the fucking end zones and all the shit. They get a whole fucking month because they're so brave. Veterans who fought and died for America, you get a fucking day. Shut the fuck up, go away. You got Memorial Day, motherfuckers. Fuck you. Um but yeah, if I was all about Pride Month, my YouTube channel would take the fuck off. Um if you pick the right topics, your channel will grow. Um Pinterest has some play. You can still grow. You can still make some shit happen on Pinterest. If you know how to play Etsy, you can sell some shit on Etsy. There's still opportunities there to get in the game and play. Platforms, TikTok, you can still make your way through some. If you post a bunch of retarded ass TikTok shit for idiots to watch, you can grow. You definitely can grow on TikTok. You can't post anything long. Has to be short. Has to be like that 3-minute attention span shit. And generally, the dumber and more retarded it is, the better it'll do. Um, Same thing with Instagram. Instagram's not photography anymore. Instagram's just whores and bikinis and dumb bullshit on TikTok. Also put on Instagram. That's the only shit that works there. If you're a photographer, game over. Instagram was where all the photographers were. Not photographers there ain't doing shit anymore unless you were already built a following. Um, you can't sign up for Instagram today as a photographer, start posting beautiful photos and get anybody to look at them. Nobody gives a fuck because it's all TikTok bullshit and whores and thongs. So, um, that's dead. That's not even worth my fucking time. What other platforms do we got? Links.litgood.com. Rumble, dead. The only way to grow on Rumble is good when you're on YouTube and you're like me and you say shit you're not supposed to say, because if YouTube deletes a video, I can be like, go watch it at Rumble. If I disappear from here, go there. But I don't have enough people watching here. If I disappeared from YouTube, 5 people would show up at Rumble. Most of you are here watching right now, right? You'd all be at Rumble and we could hang out there, but it ain't gonna grow. I'll have 5 followers for the next 50 fucking years. Not because Rumble doesn't have an algorithm. Rumble puts right wing grifters, Laura Loomer, people like Cat Turd and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones and shit like that goes on the homepage of Rumble. And that's it. Nobody else gets a play. Nobody else gets any views because they only give a fuck about 5 accounts on Rumble. And if you're not one of those grifters, if you don't already have a million people watching you, if you sign up for Rumble, you could post 500 videos and get 6 views. So that's a waste of time. Can't make your own website anymore. You've heard about what Google's doing now. So Google, you know how all the search engines now are going AI, and now when you type in a Google search, you get the big Google AI search result of AI telling you the answer to your question, and then all the search engine results are buried under that. So isn't that nice that all of these AI companies, Google being the biggest one, They've been scraping your websites and all the content from your websites, all of us, billions of websites for the last 30 fucking years to train the AI bot. And now they're going to take away the search results on Google and just make it AI. So you're basically getting listed on Google's search engine because you need to get traffic to your own website so that, people can come to your website and find you. Like, you're an expert on whatever subject, you're a cancer doctor, you write articles about cancer or whatever, and then people search for shit on Google and they find you. Well, now Google's just stealing all your shit. And when somebody goes looking for the information, Google's just going to tell them what you wrote. And they're not going to give you any credit for that. They're not going to give you a link. They're not going to give the person a link. Google and all these AI companies, Grok, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, you name all of them. They're just going out and scooping up everybody's fucking intellectual property on the internet, gathering it all up, feeding it to the AI bot, and then you go talk to the AI bot, and the AI bot just gives you the answers and tells you the information straight. Oh yeah, forget about all the 150 people that we stole this information from to feed it to you who are asking. Fuck them. Here's the answer to the thing you were looking for. Yeah, we went and read 150 people's websites in 5 seconds, gathered all the information and then spit it back to you so you don't have to go and look at those websites. And that's what they're doing with Google. Google's turning into that. But DuckDuckGo, people are like, "Oh, go to DuckDuck." DuckDuckGo can go fuck a duck. They suck too. DuckDuckGo sucks just as bad. They're shitty. It's a little better than I use them both. I use them both regularly. Like, some web browsers are defaulted to Google, some web browsers are defaulted to DuckDuckGo, and that's just the default search. When you go to the address bar and you type in some random thing, depending on what browser I'm in, it either goes DuckDuckGo or Google. And I can generally tell the difference just based on the results I get. Um, and I'm smart enough to know that, like, but there's times I go and search for something on DuckDuckGo and they're censoring it and they're blocking the results because I'm not finding what I'm looking for. And I'm like, hold on a second. I go to fucking Google and I find the shit I'm looking for and it pops right up and it doesn't show up on DuckDuckGo. But then when Google is censoring something and they don't want you to find whatever it is in the search results, you can go to DuckDuckGo and you can find what you're looking for there because they're all playing these fucking games about who gets to be, who gets to win and who gets to lose. They're all curated. There's no more organic virality or whatever you want to call it, whatever the term is. There's no more. The whole internet has turned into Netflix, right? When you go, let's just take. I'm gonna ask AI, instead of looking it up on a website, like I was just, fuck it, serves my needs. But Grok is gonna go out right now and steal this information from somewhere. How many? Hopefully, they steal it from Netflix. How many titles are in the current Netflix catalog? How many titles are available to watch right now on Netflix? It's it's looking at it's stealing it for here's 150. There are 8,100 unique titles, movies plus TV shows plus specials in the US library on Netflix right now. 8,100 titles in the catalog on Netflix. But when you log into Netflix, do you see that? No. What do you see when you log into Netflix? You see a bar going across the screen. You see a big banner ad at the top with like 5 things that they want you to watch. Then you see a strip of movies on the next tier. Here's 10 more things they want you to watch. And then there's like 6 more rows of shit. And a lot of the stuff is in all the rows. Like some movie or some show will be in the first row, the third row, the fifth row, and the sixth row. So when you add up all the shit in all the rows and the banner at the top, they're showing you like 40 things at the most. 40 out of 8,100 options, they're going to show you 40 fucking things. And they're really pushing you to watch like 10 to 20. And they're making it, and how hard is it? Have you ever tried to find a genre? Have you ever tried to just browse Netflix these days? I have. I mean, I don't have a Netflix account right now. Um, but if I was on Amazon Prime or if I was on any of them, they're all the same. They all have thousands of things to pick from, and they only want to show you like 40 fucking things. It's just like when I went to X just now. What did I tell you before I went to X? You're going to see Laura Loomer, Cat Turd, Elon Musk, and like two other accounts. And what happened? I went to X, I went to the fucking feed. Boom, 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 boom. Exactly what I told you we were going to see. That's what we saw. Netflix does the same thing. Google does the same fucking thing. Search engine results. Here are the 10 things Google wants you to look at. If Google don't want you to see it, you're not going to fucking find it. I'm tired of this shit. We're all tired of this shit. Like back in the day when Netflix came out, you could go to a menu and you could just say, "Show me everything, alphabetical order. I'll start with A." Ting, 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 ting. You could go down the whole fucking list of everything they had if you wanted to do that. They've taken that away. You used to be able to rate a movie 1 to 5 stars. Now it's thumbs up or thumbs down. Like, how fucking retarded is that? It's either thumbs up or thumbs down. That's not a fucking rating. Like 5 stars gives you some leeway because a movie might be 1 star. A movie might really fucking suck, or it might be halfway, or it might be a 5 star movie. Thumbs up and thumbs down isn't enough. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, so I got to give thumbs up to The Godfather. The Godfather gets a thumbs up. But then I watched Porky's Revenge from the 80s. And I'm like, well, there's some titties in there. It's not a bad, it's kind of funny. Got to see a bunch of titties. It's not The Godfather, for fuck's sake. I go, what do I do? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Like, there's no thumbs to the side. I either got to say it's right up there with The Godfather or it fucking sucks. I can't like go in between. Like Porky's, that's like 2 stars. And it's the only reason it's 2 stars is because there's a bunch of titties. But The Godfather, that's 5 stars. The Godfather 3, that's like 3 or 4 stars, depending on your mood. But The Godfather, Scarface, 5 star movie. Porky's Revenge, 2, 3 on a good day. Pee-wee's Big Top Adventure, 3 stars. Not thumbs up or thumbs down. You can't fucking rate movies with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's bullshit. They took it all away on Netflix. They don't want you to know what the fucking ratings are on a show anymore. Because when Netflix puts out a bunch of fucking, like, remember when Netflix put out a bunch of topless little kids dancing around in bikinis and shit? Like, I don't know they got in trouble for that because it was like borderline child porn. That shit probably got a lot of thumbs down and they didn't want you to see the rating. They didn't want you to see that it got like 10% on the fucking scoreboard. So they hide the ratings now. It's either thumbs up or thumbs down. How many people are giving half naked 10-year-old girls thumbs up on Netflix? Is that what they're using to is that what the FBI is using to know which fucking doors to kick down? Because they're not going after the Epstein clients. So are they going after the people watching these fucking these little girl whores on Netflix? But that's what and then they put that they put that all over the homepage. Here, let's look at a bunch of 10-year-old girls with no clothes on. Boom, big banner at the top of your Netflix screen. We got 8,100 fucking movies to pick from, and it's little girl whores and some dumbass movie and Harriet Tubman with Sydney Sweeney as the main character and Morgan Freeman playing Elon Musk in the biography, and just a bunch of dumbass shit that they're pushing on you that month. And you can't even fucking find, and you can't there I don't know any way in the Netflix app to get to where you can actually see all the shit that's in there. They block it. They don't let you do that anymore, but it's there. We got 8,000 movies to pick from, but we're not going to let you fucking see any of them. They actually have third-party apps. Like, people have written apps that you can download and use a different app to look at the shit that's in Netflix. And if you find something, you have to go to the Netflix app and type the name of whatever it is in the search bar. And that's how you can bring it up. But Netflix won't let you look at their own fucking catalog. And the fucked up thing is, it's not like YouTube where anybody can upload to Netflix. You can't just upload movies to Netflix. I don't think you can. Like, they pick and choose what the fuck's in their catalog and what they're going to pay for and not pay for. If they're going to have 6 seasons of Weeds, um, with Kevin Nealon and that other chick, and then it's going to go back to HBO or whatever for a while, and then they're going to have Stranger Things, and like, whatever it is that they have on Netflix, but they want you to watch what they want you to watch, and they want to push whatever fucking agenda down your throat that the woke mafia wants going down your throat that month. And they're going to make it so that you can't find anything. Alex Jones used to have movies on Netflix. All the old Alex Jones documentaries, the rise of the police state, and the Bohemian Grove video that he did, and all these old, like, Alex Jones movies from way back in, like, the early 2000s were all on Netflix. They weren't showing up on the fucking homepage, but they were there and you could watch them on Netflix. The Loose Change video about 9/11. They had Loose Change, and then they had Loose Change second edition, Loose Change final cut. Then it was Loose Change, really the final cut this time, and then Loose Change, the for real this time, the final cut. And it was just, there was like 150 of these Loose Change movies, but they were all on Netflix. They were all on Netflix. Like I said, they wouldn't show up on the homepage, but they were there. But now Netflix picks and chooses what's in their catalog, and then they don't even want you to see the shit that they picked and chose to be in the catalog. It's like they just picked a bunch of random shit to be in the catalog so that they can tell you, we have a catalog of 8,000 movies and shows to watch, but we're only going to make it so that you can find 20 of them. And the whole internet has turned into that shit. Facebook is like that. Instagram's like that. X is like that. YouTube is like that. When I log into YouTube, I see the same. I follow hundreds of people on YouTube. I see the same 5 fucking people every time I log in. Every fucking time. I never see any variety. The only way I can see any variety on YouTube is to click on the button that shows me who I subscribe to, and then scroll and scroll and scroll away. And some people haven't posted for a while, but then I can go through my subscriber list and be like, oh, how about this person? Click on that. There's people that I like their videos and they post every day. And I never, ever, 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 ever see them show up in my feed. People say that about me. People say that they click the bell to ring the bell and subscribe and all that shit, and they never get the notifications. They don't see me in the search results. I'm never on the homepage. I post a video, and a week later, people are like, I didn't even know you posted a new video. I just came to check you out, and here you are. They didn't tell me. Yeah, no, of course they didn't fucking tell you. I don't know, who they're pushing down your throat, because everybody's got a different set of creators that YouTube's shoving down your throat. It's going to be different for me, and it's going to be different for you. I have multiple YouTube accounts at times where I'll have a YouTube account for a job, like an email address, a Gmail account for my job. And so the only thing I'm watching on YouTube is how to do my job videos, like UX design, software tutorials, things like that. I can log into YouTube with that account. It's going to be a vastly different homepage than my personal YouTube account when I log in. So the algorithm does pick and choose different strokes for different folks, but they it's still out of a small catalog of the shit that they want you to watch. They're not pushing it. They will not promote anybody who says fucked up things that they don't want you to hear. That's for sure. And they're like I said, they're all like that. We just saw Cat Turd and Elon Musk and Laura Loomer show up on X after I told you before I even went there. This is what we're gonna see. Boom, 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 boom. The same five fucking accounts. I follow 300 fucking people, and I see the same five people every fucking time. That's the only things I see are those five people. Cash Patel, Laura Loomer, Cat Turd, Gunther Eagleman, the White House sometimes, one of the other ones that I meant, it's no more than 10. It's no more than it's the same shit every fucking time I log in. And that's why people start their X accounts and it takes 3 years to get 100 followers because you can post on your timeline all fucking day and nobody will ever see it. It's like it's like you have 100 acres of land and you put something out in the woods that you hope everybody sees and nobody's ever going to come out to the woods and see it. I don't know how to I don't know the analogy here. Um but it's like opening up a business in the middle of nowhere and hoping people find it and you're not allowed to place ads anywhere. It's like opening up a pizza shop in a town of 10 people. And it's on the outskirts of town and you're not allowed to put up a sign and you're not allowed to run any ads. It's just a brick building on the side of the road that nobody knows what it is. And you're supposed to run your pizza shop and have a successful business when you can't, and nobody's ever going to know it's there. And that's how all these that's how the entire fucking internet is. You can't even start your own website and your own platform. If you put up your own website, you make a blog, you write a blog. All you're doing is writing a bunch of shit for your blog that Google's going to come and steal, regurgitate and feed it to everybody with the AI bot when they come asking questions about things that you're talking about. And nobody's ever going to come to your blog because Google stole all your shit and just handed it to everybody and put their name at the top. Like, this is how fucking crazy it is. And, the future fucking sucks. The future is fucking, it's going to get shittier every fucking day in this world. We watched the fucking Jetsons when we were kids, and they had flying cars, big fancy apartments up in the sky that you could afford on a modest income working at Spacely Sprockets or what was the other one? I don't even remember. Um you had a fucking robot, Rosie the fucking robot, doing all your chores, cooking dinner. Your wife didn't have to. What the fuck did his wife do? She didn't do a fucking thing. She didn't cook. She didn't clean. She sat around bitching at her husband all fucking day while he went to his job. Did she even put out when he came home? I don't even know. Bitch didn't do a fucking thing because the robot did all the fucking cleaning, cooked all the food. What this fucking bitch? She went shopping and bitched at George all day. That's the only thing that fucking cunt had to do because the future was so fucking nice. And now what do we got? We got robots taking all the jobs that people actually want. You can't get a good job now because AI is taking over all the good jobs, but you can go shovel shit in a barn or go work at fucking Walmart until they get a robot to do that. You can go get some bullshit job cleaning toilets because we won't make a robot for that yet. We'll make a robot to do all the good jobs are going to be taken over by robots. And you can go fight over the cleaning toilets jobs, you fucking slaves. And the only fucking robot we got to do any kind of chores is that stupid fucking Roomba that goes and bounces off all your fucking walls and gets stuck under the bed and doesn't even clean anything. That's the only fucking robot we got to do our chores. It's a shitty fucking future. It's a shitty fucking future for us. It was all fucking they were feeding us full of shit my whole fucking life, and here we are. Rosie the fucking robot. I mean, when are we getting our fucking robots to do the chores? and and how the fuck will you even be able to afford that when AI took all the jobs and nobody can get a job anymore? Like when AI is going to take over all of it, like you're going to go to these useless people at Home Depot. Don't even get me started on going to the fucking store. Oh my god, Kohl's. I think I'm going to use Kohl's and Home Depot, Walmart, and Target as my examples of why shopping in stores is the most abysmal experience anymore. The HEB grocery store is not that bad when it comes to like stores. That's the only store I can go into where I feel like a human being anymore is HEB. HEB is like normal. It feels somewhat like normal life. But any other fucking, I cannot go into a fucking store anymore. And I can, that's going to be a topic for one of these live streams where I'm actually come prepared and with notes and slides and fancy slide decks and examples and videos and whatever else I can gather for you. But anyway, I'm at 3 hours and 15 minutes. And so I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you all for showing up tonight. It's been fun. I'm glad that y'all jumped in the chat. I have a good time hanging out with all of you. I'm glad to do it. No ads when you show up to the Wednesday night live stream. If you're late to the party and you're watching the replay, well, make me some money in the ad revenue. Watch the commercials. Otherwise, be on time. Be on time. Let's get 20 people to show up for crying out loud. And so thanks for showing up. All the OGs, all the channel members, all that stuff. Give me a shout. You know how to get in touch. I am working through a backlog of getting in touch with people who have been trying to get in touch with me. Being sick last week didn't help, but it's all coming together. And I do not spend 8 to 10 hours a day shit posting on X. It's like an hour, or it's me sitting in a chair watching a TV show at 10 o'clock at night when I'm done for the day, and I'll hit pause and be like, I'm going to shit post for 5 minutes. All right, I'm going back to watching this show. So it's kind of that's what it is. Um, but I'm actually getting more followers by doing that on X than YouTube. So if I start doing the shorts videos, posting them to YouTube, posting them on TikTok, X, and other places, it might just open up the door to. I want more people to come to the party on Wednesday night and hang out with all of us, and so that's the goal. It's not about the money; it's about having fun and meeting people, and whatever comes out of it comes out of it. And yeah, if I can find some dumbass way to make $1 million like a 8-year-old boy playing with toys on YouTube, so be it. I'm all for it. With that said, thanks for showing up. We'll catch you next week, Wednesday. Once again, it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. That's Chicago, Houston, and everything in between. And until next week, I'm just going to say peace out, everybody, and I hope you have a good one. Later.